is why I'm too tired to do anything. Me trying to spell everybody but keeps pressing the W key. It's like peak everything. But hello everybody! Oh, the fan's gone off. I'm going to be doing a voice thing just because it's always good to do a check on that so I can figure out if I can hear myself or if you guys can hear me. Because I don't want people to not hear me, that's just awkward. Let's turn this on so it doesn't get too hot. Okay, that should be alright. Okay, so this one or this one or this one, and let's see. It's quite fast. The first one was good. Okay. Do let me know if you guys can't hear me. My voice is already going. Yeah, it was good. Do let me know if you guys can't hear me. Oh, there's a chimney there. I never noticed that. That's so cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by everything. Welcome in there. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, I don't know what we're doing because I've forgotten. This is what happens when I do it every single week and not like twice a week, which is what I did on Tuesday, which was really nice, but I won't be able to do it this Tuesday again because I'll be too busy. So I've now forgotten what on earth I was doing because I haven't had time to watch it back, so I'm like, what was I doing again? So I don't remember what I was doing here. Help. Travelers don't know people, just stories. I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of true. Let's continue. Where are we? I go looking for somebody. Do they have a smith here? Oh, they do. Okay, great. We just type random things in and hopefully we get people. The outer armory is right next to the eastern gate, but you are led behind it through a fenced gate to the training ground. You're introduced to Tartius, a muscly man who, walking in just his pants, displaying his muscular chest and arms, tanned and hairy, and his dusty, dirty feet. Nice. His teenage pupils are gathered on the trampled ground, also wearing no boots and wearing old, torn tunics, with marks of white and scratches on both their clothes and skin. The man is looking through a few toy weapons gathered in a barrel, a wooden sword, a spear with tips wrapped in rags, and also similar-looking clubs. After your arrival, the man throws a spear to one of the youngster kids, tells the others to get to him like mad paws. Soon after, you hear a painful thud and a cheerful laugh. Then he offers you a vivid red cherries. Maybe the last one of the season. Maybe the last ones of the season. He may be just over 30 years old, yet his wide shoulders, unusual height, and straight posture makes even his kindest words sound like a threat. Is this something you need from me, RoadWarden? I'm looking for better equipment. New trader unlocked. We found somebody in the village. Let's go. Hi Wade, welcome in. How are you going? I think my YouTube app has not been good. It's not been good. That's fine. I broke it in some way. Everything's fine. I've not broken anything. my streak of not breaking things has gone back down to 2 days. I'm sorry, it's gone back down to 0. Welcome in, Wade. How you going? How's your day turning out to be? Then you come to the wrong village. We don't sell anything. We store our... Oh, wait, he's talking. Then you've come to the wrong village. We don't sell anything. We're stored at our armory, and we need these things for ourselves. When you mention dragon bones, he looks away at the fighting kids and orders them to divide into 2 teams and let the assaulting spearmen rest for a bit. And what am I to do with bones? Buy blades, he chuckles with fake. Well, fake is loud, and he moves his chin up and down. After you insist that he may want to think of it as something, if there's nothing for an axe user such as yourself to find here, he puffs out his chest, thinking as he exhales. You know what? Come take a look. And you, he looks at the teens. Rest. A few minutes of rest, don't lose any eyes. You go back to the armory door, and after a few breaths, the man shows you a kite shield, so large it covers half your shell with ease. It's a gift we received, but we don't use such a shape. It's too weird for us. You can buy it if you wish, or maybe you'd like some bolts for your crossbow. We have enough of those. Let's discuss the price. 4 for a shield. You've not used it in combat. And 5 arrows. I'm good. I don't need to buy anything so far. He shrugs. Aside from what I've shown you, we need everything we have. Do you instruct? Oh yeah, these 2. We're supposed to find out who's better. Do you instruct for this lady? You can't read much from his absent eyes. Yeah. I step away. Who else would be here? Maybe a tailor? Okay, good. We found a tailor. We're slowly finding people. Let's go. You get directions to one of the smaller buildings, which turns out to consist of only one spacious chamber. Like other caves in the village, it lacks sunlight, but the workbench standing right next to the entry is well lit by an oil lamp. The old iron lantern is decorated with shades of seaweed and monstrous tentacles. On the counter you see threads, scraps of clothes, old tunics, and some boots. Behind it there's a mature woman, though you can't precisely guess her age. The flames dance because of your movements, distorting the shadows cast by her ankles and large nose. Okay. Her bright red tunic is light, made of something lighter than hemp or wool. The sleeves end at her elbows, allowing her hands to sew together 2 pieces of fabric. Greetings. She runs her dark yellow eyes over your clothes. Her hair may be getting grey, but the colourful worn beads amongst them distract you right away. Cheers, stranger. Do you need something patched up? After you nod, she looks deeper into the store. Good, as I'm better at fixing tears than making tongs. Take a look. Indeed, there are plenty of shelves and cupboards covered with pants, tunics, jackets, robes, hats, boots, and bags. Many of them seem old or made from 2 or 3 combined pieces of garments. We buy outfits from other villages, the tailor explains, maintaining her bored tone. And as they get worn and damaged, I turn them into something new. Do you have anything for sale? My neighbors walk in and put whatever they feel like wearing, but I aren't wasting our fabric on outsiders. Maybe you'd like some jewelry? When you mention you'd rather take something useful for a traveler, she hesitates. Well, if you really need, I can pack some of my old tools of mine. They'll help you fix your armor and tongs without anybody's help. Though it ain't as easy as you think. Fine, let's discuss prices. Outfit repair. Yeah, I get like cleanliness. Garrison repair set. This would be interesting to have. Oh, she has this. Interesting. A sewing kit. Let's spend $1 on this and you get paid a bit more. It's okay. I'm trying to learn more about the guard. She doesn't look at you, but her hands start to move faster. And why would I be the one to ask about her? She's not willing to speak to me, that's fine. Nobody's willing to speak to me about anything with those two. No, definitely not Hallersdale, because I annoyed the mayor. See, I see your comment. That's one big nose would cast a shadow, yes. Probably feels like a witch to the villagers, honestly. Go to... The mayor. A young basket weaver with legs too short and thin for her to stand on scoffs at your question. You don't even know her name, or that we call her head woman. Like all them outsiders, you know nothing of our customs, yet you think you can bother us. Before you respond, she looks at the white building on the hill. She's in the keep, Scap. You head to the western bank and walk past the big kitchen. The steep paths lead through an opening, unguarded gates. As you look around the yard, you notice a few pigeons running around, keenly observed by a pet griffin tied to a wooden beam, some drying underwear hanging from a rope, and a spiked flagon leaning against the wall carelessly, a knocked-over bucket lying in a puddle of water. The place may be messy, but it's not impaired in its functions. Preparing it for defenses wouldn't take longer than a few minutes, and judging by the walkie of the battle, it could stand an attack of large squads of soldiers. The current state of the place makes you think of Halavan, those stronghold yards, temple walls, often surrounded by small pillars, a few of which are even allowed to set up their stalls. As long as they aren't hindering anybody, of course. They are allowed to pursue the scraps of open spaces. I look at the keep, because I have nothing else to do, except go to sleep, probably because it's late now. The bright walls stand out from the other structures in the village. As far as you can tell, the current layer of whitewash is still fresh. There must be at least 3 floors inside, enough space to contain more than 100 people, though without much between them. There are arrow stills in the window, and the roof is surrounded by a fence-like barrier, almost like a stronghold. A perfect spot for boulder throwers and archers. The large entrance door is ajar, with a wrinkly man sitting on a pillow placed on the stairs. He's not wearing a gabardine, but the fine steel sickle sword at his side makes it clear he's not just a regular guard. He stops what he's doing, carving a figure from a log, and stands up to greet you. Cheers, RoadWarden. Savina was told about your arrival. Follow me. He might be old, but he is tall, with long and thin arms of a sea folk, neatly groomed beard and grey hair in a ponytail. It's Geralt. I'm joking. This grey hair and ponytail equals Geralt. Oh dear. As you follow him, you hit by the strong scent of clovers. I'm definitely prepared for this. I have 0 out of 5 appearance. You climb up the stairs. The door is thick and can be barricaded with 2 wooden bars. The hall is filled with benches, some of which are placed at the top of others, giving a bit more room for now. There's one path to the next floor, suspiciously covered with planks. Interesting. I like how they give us a visual look here. The chamber is free of the roaring of the river, the shouts of the workers, the chaotic animals, or the smell of cooked food. The room is well lit, both by sunlight and candles, and quite draughty. Though you still smell perfume and aging wood, you doubt anyone lives here, even uses these rooms for dining. RoadWarden is here, the guard says, approaches the desk, standing between you and the old woman still sitting down. I take a look at her. So far, she hasn't spared you as much as a glance. She's writing on a large wax tablet with letters as large as a dagger, and since she's a bit stopped, you see her only from the chest up. Oh, she's stomping over. Okay, she's like doing the artist pose, the classic C shape on the thing. Oh dear. She's wearing a thick, warm dress in the color of cherries. These people like cherries. And an even darker, modest hat that covers her hair. She could be older than 70, yet her face and hands have been spared from scars and harsher than some pocket marks carved by illness. If you were to encounter an Halvin, you would have expected her to be an official or maybe a rich scholar. Some of her belongings, however, wouldn't be found at the city's desk. The wax of a tablet isn't dried. Instead of keeping water in a cup, she uses a large, colourful shell, and a winged hourglass placed on a stone stand is made of dry seaweed. Oh, you ladies are obsessed with Geralt. I keep calling him the wrong one. I know 2 people that start with G, and I keep calling him the wrong one. You see him everywhere, Wade. Once you see him once, you'll see him again, and it becomes a thing to just note him out. You have to say he does have a pretty good design, though. My YouTube's so broken. I glance at the young lady who sits in the corner. Her crossbow is pointed at you. The resemblance between her and the elder is stunning, though she's slim and a bit taller and wears a simple dark blue and black woolen tunic. While she's resting on a chair, she looks at you, almost without blinking, with hardly any movement, like a cat staring at a rat, trying to judge if you're defenseless prey or a threat. Friendly. It's nice to meet you. I've come here to see if your village needs any help from a RoadWarden. Spread by arms. Nope. Greetings. What's this one? I smile, spreading my arms. Considering the effort put into building this keep, I expected a bit larger of a garrison. Greetings. Let's go with greetings, because greetings is always good, so just say greetings. She raises her violet eyes slowly and looks at you kindly, putting away her tablet. Outsider, she nods gently. I expected there's something I can help you with. After a short pause, she claps her hands on the desk. Let's hear it. Her accent is not as thick as that amongst the younger villagers, keeping a shadow of the years when the guild had tighter ties with the peninsula. But since she has no teeth, you have to think for a moment before you realize some of her words. The village of Old Pagus has been struggling with a trade. I've helped them overcome it, but the seasons to come will be grim for them. She looks at the perfumed man who's standing with an open mouth. You glance at the crossbow woman who has lowered her weapon. The head woman leans forward and rests her forehead on the back of her hands. What do you mean, overcome it? She keeps her voice low. Were they just getting cold? You tell her the entire story, even though at first she stares at you from above her clamped hands. She seems to get smaller and weaker each time you mention the old druid, or the mysterious elder at the edge of the swamp. Finally, she stares at the wax tablet, rather defended than joyful. May the rites bless the kindness of that pagan, the guard announced briskly, as well as you, traveller. We shall call the council soon, but since you helped our friend in need, he turns to the old woman. Let's offer this stranger some help. Is there any labor you struggle with? Is there some labor you struggle with in our village? She looks at you. I don't know. I'm dirty. I guess I would like. I don't know. I can always just wash in the river, just down that way. I don't really care too much about my appearance, really. It's probably terrible because people judge you on your appearance, but I don't honestly care too much about it. I could use that. It's probably the only thing I'd need. But can I even ask them? Let me just quick save. The survey raises her head and sighs. I'll speak with Rafa, the tailor. She's close to the hill we're on. You need to take the path to the left. You'll find her behind the dining tables. Great. She glances at the exit. He's a friend right now. Did the village face any struggle with bandits? She looks at a guard, then around her. Have you noticed where we are? We're safe enough to fight a dragon. And if there are any bandits in our woods that eat nothing but bearing timber and worms. Whenever we trade, we send groups of 10, 20 souls strong, enough to push away a few footpads. I spend a lot of time traveling between places. Do you have any work for me? She runs her eyes over you, and frowns without as much as a hint of subtlety. Show me you're worthy of something. Work with our fishers, find somebody seeking a messenger. I don't need a stranger before autumn, when we'll trade for winter grain. What can you tell me about the tunnel south of here? You can tell that Verbal digger Lou will tell you more. So Loon. About it than you want to hear. She will before the war. It used to be crossed every 10-20 days, enough for us to keep it guarded. But with how little it's used now, I'll be mad to ask any of our youth to throw themselves at beasts that live there. She glances at an open pouch that's lying just nearby, with a few dragon bones sticking out. Her toothless grimace is hard to read. And don't offer me your services to merely get rid of the awoken. I need long-term solutions, not violence. And no sooner or later another threat will take their place, and it may just as well stay occupied. At least no vagabond will take it over, if you say so. So, mental shot of that name. My patience runs short, outsider. She glances at you. She glances at you for a pause. Are there any matters that can't wait till tomorrow? Fine. I won't let you hold any longer. A harpy circles dangerously low above the village. The guards are running around, trying to keep up with it, while the children are being told to hide indoors. We still learn about the ways this village has to offer. Let's go look for somebody. There was this person. You can't find them, or either I can't understand your crew. Look for some. Was it the digger? Okay, digger. Goes by that name. It must be the tub scene. I don't think it was, because I don't remember that one. Wait, I don't remember that one. I don't think it was. I think it was the hairstyle you picked. The rooster ponytail you picked for his hairstyle. I think that's why I remember it the most. I'm pretty sure everybody else has their other reasons. I don't know, I see like grey ponytails and like, ah, I know you. The locals explain that the centuries-old caves need a little work, and the humble fixes they put into the walls and sheds are taken care of whatever needs whenever such a need arrives. After a few moments of chattering, one of the children leads you to an elderly woman responsible for looking after the condition of them buildings. The digger called Luma. Already wrinkled, grey hair and slightly stooped, she's sitting at the eastern gate, placing tiny building blocks on the table, raising a tall tower without making it collapse. Her hands are steady and precise, and her large eyes blink so rarely that you want to rub your own. She spares you a look and leans back, resting against the wall, then crosses her arms and critically observes her toy. Cheers, stranger, I have time. I'd like to know more about the tunnel that leads to the mountains in the south. It's older than any human soul, it is, but not ancient. Those who dig through the mountains were still around when I was but a small lass. The village saved everything it got from the trade for more than a generation to bring the bronze gate from Halvan here. The pickaxes and all of them tools, nails. It was a single large corridor that reaches from one end to the other. A few chambers on both sides where travellers used to spend a night if they were desperate enough. And don't try it without a group of guards now. Monsters also love deep caves, and the days are getting colder. How come it's locked in the first place? Ruined village. We got an update on that. It depends on who you ask. Let's just say that a great turmoil had happened 10 years ago, right? The settlers grew further apart, traded less, kept an army of fighters, and builders at the tunnel brought little value. We had to put we had to put greater trust in our own work, not in the caravans. Once again, foraging, cutting trees, farming. With time, more and more bees gathered under the tunnels, getting used to seeing no pushback. She looks at an old plank that had been resting beside her stool. She compares its thickness with her toys, then reaches for a handsaw. It was 3 years back, when a few traders of ours went missing. Oh, I think I see those ones. Our search group found the gate locked from the inside. They tried to check it, but left the place when they saw moving shells, dead, fleshless. We decided to clean it someday in the future. Maybe hire a group of strangers to take care of the risks themselves. She glances upon you. But so far none have reached our village. She wants me to open the tunnel. Nice. It just says straight up she wants me to open it. I was told you were the one who looked after the local construction works. That's pretty much right. She glances at the spared wooden blocks. Every few springs or summer I gather a crew to build something new, or rather replace an old halve with something fresh. But most of the days I just make sure the roofs don't fall on our heads, and the crumbling in the caves aren't too moist. Then the copper helps me a bunch of fishes. She gives you an axe. She gives your axe a long look, then reaches for her much smaller hatchet and shaves one of her toys slightly, narrowing it. For centuries there have been merely one digger at a time, and it's a custom we serve as well. It does. A digger, that's an unusual name for your trade. And what would be a usual name in the city? A builder? After you shrug, she grasps one of her wooden toys like a dagger. Our forebears used to dig in rocks, widen the caves, and it was a name with great honor behind it. When I look around, she does so, as proving her point. It reminds me of our long path, from hiding to thriving on the surface. She can't hide her smile. I'm with the merchants. Do you have enough? Better ask the coppers. They struggle with timber. The good thing about digging in the hills is that we always have enough stone. Our rocks are crude, but we don't need to sculpture them, just pile them up. She turns a few building blocks into a small wall. Oh, the haircut, not the steamy scenes. No, not the steamy scenes. And also all the hours that was put into making him swim across a lake or across the ocean. It's entirely very amusing. Copper, so we have another group of people we could potentially look for. Did your crew build the keep on the hill? Must have taken you many years. She looks in its direction. The whitewashed wall makes it look brighter than many clouds. We started when I was only 10, still learning from the previous digger. Her voice was full of pride. There used to be a humble watchtower there with tents around it. Now we could stay locked up inside the thick walls, but also shoot arrows from the walls, roofs, and windows. You ask her if the keep has ever been used by the locals in combat, and she suddenly grows disheartened. You would be surprised, you would. There are tales of pirates, dragons, and bandits, but all of those things happened before the war. The lands were different, though I can't exactly say how. Can you tell me about this person? Ain't she one of the guards? I don't bother with kids' problems. She looks forward, takes a telling nod. Speak with Tullius there. He trains every fighter in the tribe. He does. Farewell. Look for somebody. Okay. Let's go to the tailor. Oh yay, I can get it patched up in an hour. Let's do this. So I'm like, I don't know, kind of neat and tidy. Here we go. Now we save again. Let's go back to the armorer. He's not willing to speak with me. I step away. Oh, I have a spirit rock. Who was I going to talk to here? Let me just note down her name real quick. Okay. Okay, there we go. It always works. You find her with a few children that are playing tag, watched by two elderly women, most likely twin sisters. Her skin tone, nose, and ears help you recognize her straight away. Even though her eyes are brown and dark, nothing like the bright green of her father's. Her shell may be present, but she stares at the dusty yard, ignored by her group. She's leaning against a wall, drawing something on the ground with her feet without a word or a tune. You ask the sitters if she's okay. Their grim eyes are enough for an answer. Hey, Jawa. I updated OBS, so that's probably what's doing it. Nothing on the mic end, though. How are you going, though, Jawa? It's nice to see you popping in. You ask if you can talk to her, explaining that her father has been worried about her lately, and they invite you with a gesture. I approach her and introduce myself. The conversation goes on for a long while. You try not to be too obvious, but she also seems to be just worried about strangers as her father is. Finally, after a few minutes of chatting and her vague one-word responses, one of your question lands. Don't you want to play with the other children? One of the teams lacks a player. I ain't good, she states. After a long pause, simply adds, at games. You stay gentle, asking who told her she's not good at games, and after she struggles to find an answer, you ask about the first part of her statement. My father, she admits. He says I need to be better. And why? What made him say that? The conversation starts to go smoothly. She has a vivid recollection of many evenings spent with her father, trying to charm a fish. As she calls hers spell, you put together the key phrases of her story. She's not trying enough. Her mother would be sad. She shouldn't do this to him. She does better if she wants to eat. She does better if she wants to eat. Would you like to be better at smells? She doesn't respond right away. Maybe, she says, if it makes Dad proud. An irritated grunt comes from one of the sitters, making it clear that that's enough. Who's the other person I was supposed to go ask? What's his name? Okay. Hey Kim, welcome in. Oh my word, why do we have Jawa and Kim both in chat? How are you going, Kim? How's your day turning out to be? Because, it's not yet midday for you guys, it's almost there. I have a frog in my throat. Let me just take a mental image of that name. Okay. The exhausted fisher moves slowly, allowing the other villagers to unload the baggage. He keeps a lantern in his hand, giving commands to the carriers. Does she work with you often, the guard? He narrows his eyes. I used to. Now I don't. Such the thing. She's an annoying lass, but that's it. About the spirit rock, you got it. This sounds like a very unusual attempt at healing. Are you sure you want to try this? I've asked our sorcerers what they felt when they used the stones. Their magic got stronger than on most days, and nothing bad happened to them. We risk nothing outsider, he says, with growing irritation, and stops himself from scratching the scar on his neck. Bear the dragon bones, I have one with me. He lets out a triumphant shout. Good job, RoadWarden. I'll give it to her this very evening. I'll just grab your pay. After a few moments, your pouch gets larger, and the man shows other fishers his new merchandise, gaining their encouragement, smiles, and questions. Why does the guard annoy you? He shrugs. There were a few times she told me she was asked to guard the gate, but when it turned out she told the guards back at home that I asked her for help. She was merely idling about, like a child. The fishers don't need somebody like that around here. See you later. Okay, interesting. So we've got 1 hour before night, but we finished that quest. Quick save. Closed tunnel. I still need to find somebody who can do the traps. Wants me to find the abandoned camp. I don't know where the abandoned camp is. Oh, I have the pouch. I should go to the White Marshes then. I don't know where these guys are still. Oh, I've tried to talk to this lady about them, but I can't for some reason. Okay, according is a trapper. He's a quiet boy, and I'm not sure he knows how to fight. I don't think he does, but he's a very good strategist, and he makes up for it in other ways. She's a guard, but she's a bit of a child, and she seems immature to me. Go back to the monk. Oh no. She's an enchantress. The monk has advised me to look into guidance of fighting off maybe I asked them about finding golems. If I manage to convince the monks to trust me, I can get their support. The monks are the only guys who like me right there, which is very interesting. Oh, you guys are chatting. We're doing okay. A slow wake up. All good. That's good to hear, though. Nothing wrong with waking up slow. I feel like it gets harder to wake up when the days usually get warmer or the temperature changes. Wait. I think... oh dear, wait. I see you guys must have met okay. Yes, there is a guardsman in this town who has grey hair and a ponytail to remind me of Geralt. Jaywar, you might need to confirm that. Okay, let's travel. I don't think I can sleep here unless there's like a Is there an inn? Like... Oh, there is a tavern. Your search for an inn is futile. The locals are quite proud, and they have no place to waste their time with mugs and dice. They explain that if any cavern needs to stay the night, there's always empty spaces in one of the caves. If you need a room and to spend the night, you're told, Fluva might have something. Following the instructions, you reach a building with an entrance from the garden side. You step through the doors leading into the mouth of a cave and call the person you were told to speak with. Fluva, the room keeper, comes to you with a half-darkened corridor. She fits the description you've heard, slightly around, partially because of the tunic and heavy pants hiding beneath the dark green robe. She looks like an eccentric city priest with a massive hourglass made of beautifully polished driftwood she wears, and the handkerchief covering both her neck and hair. One feature that hasn't been mentioned by the locals are her eyes, ash, asymmetrical, partially closed and unfocused. When she gets closer, she turns her head, glancing into the rocks and pointing her left ear at you. Her steps are confident, and her hands keep touching the walls on both sides. She's old, wrinkled, and pale, but her voice is strong. Your first instruction is to nod, only realizing it won't help you much. She repeats, "You smell of horse room?" "Yes, right." She walks down the corridor between the few humble chambers, some of which are inhabited by sleeping souls. After a few steps, a light comes from the entrance, helps you no more. You follow the sound of boots and the smell of rosemary perfume, then suddenly hearing a rock hitting something made of metal. The lit landau makes you sigh with relief. "What colour?" After a quiet moment, she tries again. "The horse coat." What colour do we think Reginald is? I don't know. It's like, what colour? Wait, what colour is Reginald, since you were the one who named him? What colour might Reginald be? You can confirm or neither deny. Oh dear. This conversation never happened. What are you guys doing in there? Jay was going to hear of this. Well, we have bay, black, grey, mustard dun. I don't know what mustard dun looks like. And it's white and black stripes. Palomino? No, I hate. You chose the one coat I don't like. That's good. I don't think Palomino's here unless this coat is similar to Palomino. It's white with black stripes. That's a zebra. I know that's a zebra. Don't know what coat this one is. Is this like a... Oh, this is like a roan. This is a roan one. It's a roan coloured. I think this is the most similar to what you just said, so... It's a donkey? Donkey? No, this is roan. This one here is roan horses. So it's named after mostly wild horses, were called this name. But yeah, also donkeys as well, because this you can call it a donkey. It's fine. If I've really been riding a donkey, yeah, I don't mind, honestly. Donkeys. Let's go with this one, because I think this one's the most common to what you just said, Palomino. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's her favorite. Okay, I didn't know that. But I bet she says that to all of them. Her tongue makes a satisfied click. My favorites. She confesses, blending in with those woods better than others. I'll throw it a few pairs. Oh, she's giving the horse food. Then perhaps grey colour. That's also another good one. Also dappled grey is very nice. For a donkey. I don't think it's a donkey. Reginald is not a donkey. Can't be a donkey. I loved him for being a mule, that's fine. The room is far from comforting. The ceiling is only a head above you. The walls are round and bare of any decorations. And the only chest looks more like a crude crate. Back to the crate. Oop. At least the dried grasses covering the sleeping pile are bug-free and smell of freshness. You don't have to share it, she says with amusement. How much for this delight? She clicks still turns to you with her profiles. Don't worry, you won't be cold, and we don't let anything mouldy in here. I have a nose for it, she demonstrates with a loud sniff. You can work with the villagers for merely a few hours in the morning, make some weight around, or you can pay me 2 coins. I won't take less, for I need none at all. I just throw it to Savan's crate in a few days. Do you know who this person is? She makes a moment to think. Ruffin's sister, eh? Last time I spoke with her, she was but a small lass. I have nothing to say for her. Can I sleep, though? Okay, so an elder allows you to spend the night in crude conditions. In return, she requires absurd payment or half a day of labor. Let's do labor. I can eat rations later. After Folver blows out the candles without considering if you're ready for it, you're in complete darkness. And you only now realize how quiet this room is. The thick walls blocking the humming of the wind, birds, river. The innkeeper heads to her own room, and you only occasionally hear the whispers or snoring of other dwellers. My imagination scribes terrifying creatures in the darkness, and it takes me a while before I calm down. I grow anxious and focus on my breathing, then to the beating of my heart. I hold to my dagger and focus on the touch of my blanket. Let's hold to my dagger. Hold on to my dagger. You're not caught up with the lore? There isn't too much lore with Reginald. Wade was able to name him because Wade recommended that I call the RoadWarden Reginald. Unfortunately, I'd chosen a different name, so Reginald is now the horse. Just throwing in a Shrek reference. Ah, okay. Okay. Makes sense. Kind of. And we don't know what color the horse is. I mean, in the inventory, it's like this, which is, it's kind of a roan, but it's also kind of a chestnut color. But I don't know if that's the real color or if they've just made it lighter than all the other things in the inventory. What is that? What's a sapling? What was I doing with the sapling? I think I'm taking it to the hidden village. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with the sapling. I have so many random things in my inventory. Everything's fine. You wake up surrounded by darkness. The innkeeper is standing outside next to the open door. Fishers are getting ready. They are. Go. Ask somebody where you can load the wagons. She says slowly as if you're meant to repeat those exact words. You're freed from your duties after a few hours of work before you get a backache. You sit on a bench. Some of the locals slowly observe you. But whether you meet their eyes, you find a challenge. A pyre of smoke starts to rise above the building. Many of the workers have already left the village. Remaining adults are either outside carrying timber, food or other wares, or in their workshops, the largest of which are open air. The sound of work muffles conversations, so you mostly hear the shouts of children and observers. I go to the tailor. You enter the dark cave room and Ruffin welcomes you with a nod. Everything fine? Follower mentions the guard is your sister. She puts away her tools and leans away, meeting your eyes. You're trying to hire us or something, right? She's difficult. Taught herself lies. Said with a strong voice and confident chest, takes one far, but aren't good on a good path and tribe. Like all souls, she has good sides and bad sides, but is too afraid to admit the latter. You chat for a few minutes. While the tailor words are harsh, she can't hide the hints of sadness in her voice. Thanks, I head outside. Okay. Let's go talk to the armorer. Oh, he's not willing to speak. So, she's a bit of a liar. It makes sense a bit more because she was at the gates and she kind of pulled the hood over the Parthius guy who was asking her why she was at the gates and she wasn't supposed to be there. So, she makes sense how she might be a liar. So I'm still thinking we go with that guy, even though I don't know too much about him. The strategist. Because even if he can't fight, he would still make a pretty good adventure. I'm going to eat food. It's not food. Hold on, now I'm lost. Where is food? Wild berries, not very filling. Let's eat food rations. Can't use your inventory right now. Okay. Can I go traveling and then use my inventory? Can I travel? Can I go to my map? Oh, I need to leave the village first in order to travel. I step away. I need to leave. Okay, traveling. So we need to go to this guy. Take me 4 hours to get there. But there's no roads here. I feel like this is a dead end. I feel like I could go somewhere here though. But I'm not strong enough yet. And I also need to clean this statue. And you go down to these guys. And down to the ruined village, plant a tree, and then down to that guy. So I'm staying around this area, I think. Yeah. Okay, we're going to the mad guy in his hut. You caught up? That's okay. If you have any more questions, you're welcome to ask him. The gentle breeze is smoothing, but spoiled by the sour scent of rotting soils. You avoid deeper breaths. Tyrus is sitting on the bench, observing your arrival as he's grinding something in the mortar. You greet him. He asks you to wait a minute. Only after he's satisfied with his work does he leave his tools behind and move to the edge. His The creepers on his arms are slightly raised. I need you to open the path to white marshes. Then you know what I need you to do. He smiles and reaches for his basket. I give you fruit again. He doesn't like fruit. He pauses his lips, his toes flinch nervously. You think I can't find those myself? Fine, go ahead, he mutters with resignation. You throw in enough fruit and leaves to fill his basket. He snaps his fingers. Done. Okay, now we go to white marshes. Takes me 1 hour to get there. The village is filled with unbearable noises of construction, yet the undead labourers take no break. Don't gasp for air and don't stop to look around. The locals avoid them or scowl at them whenever they get close. I notice Vanis standing next to the shed. I said hi to him. He's moving small packages, bringing orders to some neglected shelves. His eyes are red from crying, but he greets you with a strong voice and a polite smile. Oh, poor guy. He was told that he pretty much got cheated on, I believe. So he's had a bit of a rough time because the person he thought liked him ended up leaving and cheating, so poor guy. This time he's wearing a decent blue tunic. Back with us, friend. These been a long time since I've seen some visiting our home as often as you do. It's not bad here. Haven't seen the worst of it, he chuckles. Me, I'm looking after our grain and dried meats before fall comes, thanks to, he draws in air and lowers his voice, Ortius, help. We're more food than in many years, but now we need to figure out what goes to our bellies and what back to the soil. I may have some supplies I could spare. Want to take a look? Ooh, okay. Wild plants, nice. Fish and things. I think I'm good with the supplies right now, but thank you. Actually, no. Who was it who needed supplies? It was the Enchantress. She wanted supplies. So I need to slowly get up to 21 portions for her, so she can look after the roads. Shall I do that? Shall I spend my money? I have like 25, so honestly could. Sure, because 3 for 1 is pretty good. Let's do it. You buy 3 food rations. Honestly, oh no. I sell them. Oh, I misread that. I sell them. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. It's fine. I got like $1 for like 3 food rations. I have some supplies I don't need. That's fine. I will get them back when I go to Pelt of the North. I hardly eat food anyway. Sounds really bad. Anyway. Let's talk to the woman about her pouch we found. She's just at the edge of the yard, keenly observing you. As you approach her, once again she leads you farther away from the gate, this time to a turf house. She reaches out to you with an open palm and speaks quietly. May the rites bless you, stranger. The pouch was torn. Here, the only dragon bone I found. She looks at the sky, then to the ground. For 2 heartbeats, she can't stop herself from revealing the despair in her eyes. But then she adjusts her headscarf, takes a deep breath, and moves her shoulders. I have not even a fistful of berries to thank you, stranger, but I'll tell the rest of the village. That sounds like a swear word, I'm not saying it. You're a trustworthy messenger. If anybody asks, hardly anybody does around here. She huddles away, splashing mud with every step. I return to my bundles. Let's go to this guy again, even though I hate talking to him. He spares you a glance. I heard what you said about the Awakened, but your tribe used to be strong without them. Let's tell him about old Pagus. I don't know why he would care, but let's just tell him about it. Not doing the sorceress yet. People from old Pagus are suffering from a plague, but I helped them overcome it. You did, he frowns, and how I asked. And what? How I asked. We learnt about the illness a few days ago, but not even ゚Secret could help them. You start your long tale, but the mayor stops paying attention after a few minutes, passing the cold, blunt side of his axe to his cheek. So, some dangerous pagan spells. Knowing the curses of the druids, the village may not last till spring. Or maybe ゚Tartius is going to collect the debts now. You mentioned pagans. When you mention pagans, you can't stop yourself from peeking at the loud undead shells. Say it, no. No. Wait, I'm not gonna say it. Or almost... Well, the almost swear word. It sounds like one, so I'm not saying it. I'd rather not. If she doesn't help me with the roaming undead, that's fine. Ew, we could ask him because Astron was last seen in the White Marshes. Is Astron still around? Huh? Why would he be? You pay attention to his confident stance and a strong voice, with a hint of dismay, and spots no sign of a lie. He hardly ever's been here. I no need of wardens. You know nothing about Astron, but he claims he had strong ties with your tribe. Halvius begins swinging his axe left and right, the hilt of the haft now resting in the mud, trying to recall the past, but he makes a puzzled frown. You know what? I told him to meet our warlock often. Who knows why? Ask him if you must. Warlock. Is that the ゚Secret guy, is he? Or what? Oh, I can ask him about the warrior from Colrocks. Sure, why not? Who? You repeat your question, but he shrugs. I know of many great warriors from our tribe. They are disciplined bunch, but not a tale about the woman has reached me. I'd like to learn more about the White Marshes. Don't bother, both of us and yourself. The tribe has been taming the bogs for 5 generations. By the fields, he moves towards the gate, as if you have no opportunity to see them before, are from a few seasons ago, thanks to ゚Secret. We used to live on berries and meat, selling pelt and timber, but soon we'll need no outsiders. After these years of feeding our blood to lizards, leeches, and merchants, better days are coming. We made them come, and we observed them. He fondly wipes his blade with his thumb, and then clears his throat. If the right allows it. So, you want to separate yourself? You used to sell wood, correct? He nods in approval. In the old days, our firewood warms up all toes on the side of the Hag Hills. Cloud Rocks in the far north built its own hamlet for the woodcutters. It's a hamlet. At Howler's Dell, and a fine garden for themselves, just to get by without us. They'll have oaks cherries on their own, darker birches have no more reason to trade with us. other than pulp. You glance at the buildings. While they're indeed new, most of the settlements are in the Providence would view them as crude and cramped. So what, Warden? That was 10 years ago. It ain't what it doesn't matter. We needed to trade, yet the others pushed us away. But they wouldn't let them choose for us. We wouldn't let them choose for us ever again. So you want to separate yourself? The tribes with little iron and bone struggle more and more. We're getting ready to welcome pillagers the way they deserve. 'Tis all our walls aren't enough, and all this. He waves at the walls, and his voice is full of pride. We're built in not even 2 years, you believe? You glance at the yellowish skeletons that carry 2 large rocks, each too large for any human to lift on their own. Let's ask him what he thinks about the Enchantress. Because we've got a few things that you're now worried of not saying it. Also, thanks for the likes. Thank you. Oh, I see it at the top there. The Enchantress would like to place this rod in your village somewhere high. Would that be a problem? She what? Let me see. He swings a hollow piece of bronze like a sword made from a branch, then raises it above his head, staring at it with little patience. A lightning catcher, or a toy. Well, he gives it back. Come one day before noon, you'll go out with the foragers as a guard. Work with them for half a day and we'll put it in a tree, or on a roof. Okay, maybe another time. So in the day, just farewell. Okay, we traveling. Okay, the wetlands were dangerous an hour earlier. Studying the golem. Ruined village. What did I learn from here? People at White Marsh are starting to isolate themselves 10 years ago. Let's see if I can't plant the tree there, honestly. If there's anything else updated. I've got 3 left. Finding the RoadWarden. According, RoadWarden was tasked with finding iron and steel for the monastery. It's possible he purchased some in illegal rocks or creeks. Halvius from White Masters told me to speak with the Warlock. Oh, okay. That's who the Warlock is. He's the mad guy who helps me get through the tunnels. Okay, let's go talk to the Warlock then. Let's go travel. I'll eventually eat food. I promise I'll eventually eat food one day. A tiny vole as brown as a short grasses is washing its fur at the edge of the puddle, but it jumps into it once it notices your arrival. Tharius is sitting on a bench, observing your arrivals, is grinding something into the mortar. Do you know anything about Astron's whereabouts? He raises his chin. No, what? I may. His amulet rumbles after his triumphant announcement, but then he looks at the clouds in the distance. You wait for him to carry on to no avail. Sighs. So, what do you want? He flinches. Huh? Nah, not a thing. He shifts from foot to foot. Was just thinking, that's all. What did you think of him? He stands with an open mouth, as if he's not sure what you meant by that. I didn't. Let me with a heavy pouch, but ask nosy questions. Like someone else I knew. He gives you a telling look. Okay. Is he your client? Do you share a goal? He crossed his arms, making the creepers hit his amulet. Never had a witch or warlock at her home. 'Twas wrong time to speak me for others. Yeah, I said that right. I'll take on my power, a lot, and shame and doubt, and I need to be trusted. People claim that he and your tribe are planning something big. Do you deny that? Oh, I got 2 things updated. He rolls his eyes, shrugging his arms and showing his empty palms. Yet the nervous twitches of the creepers add a little more to his innocent demeanor. He and I traded a few times, but I didn't bed with him or offer him mint and soup. He said he made a job for me in the woods, and I told him I don't need any bones anymore. When asked what he did need, Tharius pauses his lips. I want to change things, is all. I woke up to a wakened shell in the fog and glorious raiders threatening my family. All I want is for this cursed land to be normal. He yawns, comes out of nowhere. But you then notice his dropped shoulders and heavy eyelids. Yeah, that warden told me he's going to take care of it. Where is he then? Well, not at my place, 'tis for sure. To prove his point, he raises one of his creepers around and opens the door, though from where you're sitting you see mostly the cold fire and the darkness behind it. But do you have any idea where I could look for him? Yeah, at the monster's lair, most likely. You meet his eyes, friendly. Are you alright? Great, you're very helpful. Any monster in particular? Great, you're very helpful. He huffs and looks away, straightens up. And are you any more? I've things to do, and I don't stop strangers to talk to them. Before you mention that you doubt he's all that busy, he waves it off. Ariston asked me for help with various creatures. Was heading for a journey, he says. Needed boggy balms to scare away animals, some even weirder ones. The harpies and the sea monsters, but I've no such things. I could poison the sea. As you think what to make of it all, he starts to tap his foot, taking a deep breath. There is a huntress living in the Pelt of the North. This inn at the southern road, Dullet. Astrid says she knows the wild beasts like no other soul, so he was preparing for them. Anyways, thanks. He adjusts his bracelets, giving you a bored look. Let's say I were to help your people with banners and get rid of the undead. Would you return the favor? Why can I ask him that? It's a bit weird. I raise my chin. Did you ever choose to move to this field, or were you forced to do? He reaches for his chest, rubbing a small tusk nervously. Us surely likes to ask questions. Well, the other one gets the work done. His voice is colder than soil. Are you telling me you're wandering the bogs because you want to do so? You refuse to accept the new order of things, those necromancy practices. Let's say I were to help your people with the banners and get rid of the undead. Would you return the favor? He spares you with a yellow grin. 'Tis all you say. Yip, yip. Save the North or scrap it. I care about. I'll follow you into the fog. If I go here, will I get mugged? Apparently if you make these people dislike you, they mug you in the middle of the night. Let's go to Foggy's. The grass in the animal pen has managed to grow back a bit, while your mount welcomes it with a drool and relaxed eyes. There are new wares near the cart, recently left there or prepared to be taken away. The tavern staff stop their discussion by a basket to welcome your arrival. I have to enter it. Foggy is resting at the chair, observing you with a single open eye. She welcomes you with a smile. I have some things I'm willing to part with. What's this? Okay, forget it. She doesn't trust me enough to tell her what she knows about Astron. I need to buy something. Let's buy this. Paid for 4 meals in advance. Okay. I'm going to sleep. I'm hungry. Can I not sleep? Can I like eat food? Is that possible if I eat food while I'm here? What did I find out? Find about the RoadWarden. There's so many people. According to Tharis, Astron brought out his supplies of various poisons and boggy balms meant for beasts, including ones that live on the sea, such as harpies. He was heading for a journey to take care of the conflict between the White Marshes and the bandits, as well as the undead keep of his own tribe. That matches with everybody else. Okay, and what was the other thing? Explore the peninsula, was that it? Or what was the other thing that got highlighted? Was it the band? Suffered from band attacks severely, so they've had it a lot. Okay, I don't have a lot of quests, but I also have a lot of quests and I don't know how to do them. What was I doing? Inventory food. We have to find out if I can eat food in this place. You can't use your inventory right now. If I leave, can I use my inventory? Time to go. If I leave, can I use my inventory? No. I keep pressing journal. This is not going too well. I eat food. Thank you. Let's save. Yes. Let's go back into the tavern. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep finally. Sleep in the attic. Oh yeah, I get the spot for free now. And I gain a health, isn't that great? The days are getting shorter, I realized. That's the same thing, I won't read over it again. Time for me to go. Approach the foragers. Hey, one of them tells a story but stops once you approach. Ildren frowns, eh? Do you know about Talia? The man gives you a surprised glance but then looks down across his arms, holding his hand under his shoulder. I'm new, man, now. There's nothing that ties me to the army. Ooh. You crossed a great part of the land, greater than most. Have you seen anything unusual? He takes a deep breath, his voice is close to whisper. There's fog in my soul. I was on the eastern roads, hungry and sick, praying for the right to send me its beasts on me and save me from the pains of living. I remember the touch of her, and the breath on my neck, and the claws pinning me to the ground. I was waiting with my eyes closed. Then I awoke in the middle of the night, still feeling. I go back on my feet, walking until I reach the lights of the tavern. Without as much as a bruise, Foggy may have no faith in her heart, but the right used her kindness to give me a second chance. Illidan frowns at the man's words, and there is a cautiousness in his voice. You might be crazy, but it's true. He comes here after midnight, raving. Maybe the monsters don't like his scent, so he forgot everything. He hides his stumble in the palm of his hands, curling up. I've seen a dragon eating a tree, an ape that torn away the head of a monstrous cat, and a wolf without fur that was as quick as lightning. Now leave me alone, evil spirits. Let my shame rest. You shake him, let him be, eh? ゚Secret grunts at you. Nothing wrong about a man trying to forget. Aaron rubs his cheek. A furless wolf friend, I've heard that one. Our tribal folks see it in the heart of the woods, a nasty beast. Let's hope it won't find a mate for breeding. It charges at you like a runner, and jumps right at your throat. He touches his neck. So even if the hunters stay away from it, it's too bad we have no crossbows. He raises his wooden club. Better to avoid the deep woods without one. Crossbows are good in the deep woods, but crossbows are so slow to load. I feel like they're not worth it. I'd rather be quick on my feet than slow. Have you met the trapper? They exchanged looks as ゚Secret adjusts his dark cloak. We don't hunt that much, just catch birds and so on. Have ya tried in the creeks? Okay, I walk away. Reginald is enjoying some fresh grass as well. Reginald, I'm gonna disturb you, because we're gonna go to the monastery, which I'm gonna save in case this is useless. To save. No resting, we're traveling. We go to the monastery. A carcass of an ilex floats down the river, nervously followed by rooks, eating it one dart at a time. You spot more than a dozen hooded figures absorbed by their works in the field, amongst the fruit trees. One of them is hanging by the hourglass, polishing it with a cloth. You call the monks by hitting the sticks. They have sticks next to the drawbridge. The drawbridge lowers, and Ariel welcomes you with a cheerful wave of his bandaged hand. Salutations, greetings, to see thee in one piece. His young companion is right next to him, observing the skies with a wide grin. Can you tell me about Eris? I can a lot, but should not. He's a troubled soul. You ask for a few more questions, unable to shatter his patience. The monk thinks about his words carefully. He saw us as alchemists, not right followers. His heart craves something it can't have, and he begged us for a remedy. But there's no potions that could cut such ties, only time. You mention You mention him, sounds like a demanded young man. Alan scoffs. More like a child who thinks the day they're touching is the only one that will ever come. The plague is gone. About the things you asked me to do. I'm listening, that's all. Well, I did get information, so maybe I'll just travel. Maybe I can ask these guys. Will they let me talk to them? A red and brown ferret looks at you from the middle of the road, holding a mouse in its mouth. It runs away quickly and disappears amongst the tufts of grass. You approach the open gate, and Taria shows up soon after. You see a hint of a smile in her brown eyes. It's good to see you, Rin. Have you ever met them? She speaks slowly. Remind me who that is? After your brief description, she still needs to ask somebody for advice. I believe he was here, yes, but left soon to ask the monk for their guidance. Rather unusual, her voice gets cold for a pagan. Oh, it's a pagan. The enchantress from the west wants to know if these guys are still alive. A long, uncomfortable silence. She's too late. They were asking for their daughter in their nightmares before the illness took them away. Their tongues. Took away their tongues. We burned them, both of them, on the same day. If it means anything to her. She looks down. Tell her I'm sorry for her loss. I hope she finds the peace she's looking for. Thanks, your warden. She bows gently. I'll ask the council to rethink our isolation. With the gates and doors of our neighbours closed, we could start seeking food after all. Maybe even send out a few hunting trips. I can't get through that. Then let's go down. Let's keep going down this way. Nothing happened. I guess we keep going down. Let's go to the ruined village. You ride through the open... Oh no. I'm still in Hallersdale. I can't travel. Okay. You ride through the open gate, then dismount swiftly. Some of the locals greet you politely, but keep their distance. After you notice your own smell and dirt on your clothes, you no longer wonder why. Here you go. He nods with gratitude, throwing the bone into a leaky bucket. I swear I've given this guy like 8 or 10 bones already. Then grabs a wooden pitchfork. Let's travel. I just lose money every single time I go there. Everything's fine. I'll go to the ruins, see if I can put this tree down here. They've got a tree. The village remains dead. I consider washing myself in the river. Won't help you much. I washed my shell. The kelp forest reaches the surrounded by little creatures, smell of river plants as you crouch by the banks and draw handfuls of water. I put on my clothes. Where would you like to go? Return to the barren fields in the south. You're surrounded by barren fields. The path leading west from here ends together with the fields, shifting into a meadow. Then a forest. In the north, you see a passable path with a wall. East from here, you see a road leading south and an abandoned building. Ooh, I used the weird... What does that do? I used my amulet to sense if there's any magicka buried in this place. Actually, I'm gonna use the weird sapling. Let's use the weird sapling. We have to use the weird sapling to see. Okay, you lost the sapling, that's fine. You remove the linen sack and shake off the dirt from the roots, then dig a hole and plant the sapling in the middle of the field. Just to be sure you don't water it. All you can do now is wait, so brushing Reginald for a bit and making sure the saddle doesn't bother him. When you return, the plant is dark from sickness, dried up and withered. The field must have been corrupted, though seeing how there are already some plants growing from it, the spell is fading away. The curse is most likely as old as the last harvest. I go somewhere else. You feel your stomach aching. Yay, it's still here. Can I read my book? My journal. Oh, where did the village go? There it is. I returned to the old village. Where's the tree? But I just had it got updated. I don't see it. Okay. So that's a mystery thing, I think. Let's travel again and go down to the Pelt of the North. And then we'll stop by my fishing trap that I set down at that fallen over tree, which I still need to remove. I forgot who told me I could remove it or ask them for help. I've just forgotten now. The guard welcomes you with a nod. As you ride in, the other hunters are by the well, arguing with each other. You hear clinking of tools coming from the armorer's workshop. I approach the guards. The guards greet you with polite nods and casual hellos, and Dahliet gets close to you with a smile, the brown boar following her steps. What brings you to us? I have a job for your crew. There are some goblins in the nearby ruins that pose a danger on the roads. As long as it involves someone getting paid, I'm ready to listen. What do you know about the pack? Without interruptions, you tell as much as you can. I don't remember where this pack is. Getting rid of them will do the trick. Sure, but as long as those buildings aren't razed to the ground, new beasts will move in, sooner or later. Though we aren't ones to stop you from reaching into your pouch. A brief smile quenches her lips. Now, you'll need to take care of a few things, hunters or not. We won't raid a lair blindly. What would you like me to do? She lists her tasks one by one. In the meantime, bending forward to brush the boar. Make sure you've looked around the entire village. My crew will get mad if it turns out that yet another lair is just behind the corner. Then be sure there's no souls around. Then we fight. We don't do rescue jobs. If we do, they cost a lot. The boar grunts and turns around, leading her to its other side. Speaking of which, for you, it's going to be, she squints her eyes, 10 coins. We'll take some of the loot we find. We won't let go of magic swords or rings just because. Not that I expect anything. She straightens up, but who knows? Just so you know, I'm bringing my axe with me. She looks at you as if you're a lunatic. We won't take you with us, Ren. If you can kill a goblin, good, but we have a team, our own words, knowledge of our strengths and weak sides. We don't need you around. Just give us 2 to 3 days after you pay us and we'll take care of it. What was it, 10 dragon bones? Let me check my inventory, not my journal again. That will lead me down to 13. Fine. I don't remember where I need you to clean these goblins out, but they exist somewhere in this world, and apparently I need somebody's help to take them out. And I don't remember at all where they exist. So she reaches out for the coins and hides them without counting. Cheers, Rin. She looks at the sun. Give us 3 days to prepare for the raid. We'll handle it with a small team. There's different kinds of confidence in her voice. Her stance is more like a leader. Better stay away from the ruins until then, and maybe you'll get a random arrow between your ears. About the hunters you wanted me to recruit. Why not hire Quintius? Ready to tell you what I learnt. There's a grayed out. Can't say you've dispelled my doubts, she sighed. I'd rather invite somebody who knows how to fight when it comes to it, and won't flee without an order. Tell you about. Not the easiest attitude to deal with, you say? She twirls her hair. I ain't so sure we need any more arguments around here. Why not hire Quintius? Your question sparks playful comments from her companions. He's a good friend, she admits, but he can't be trusted with more delicate tasks. When possible, we'd rather avoid using muscles alone. What matters the most is getting out of trouble with a few scratches as possible. So, who are you gonna hire? Oh, I got money back. Let's go. We've gave her 10, and then we got 5. So we've got money back from our previous trade. That's really good. She attempts to move her hair behind her shoulders. I guess he's not helpless as long as he's going to focus on the traps. Maybe it won't ruin our hunt. We'll go to Howler's before winter, speak with him ourselves. She prepares a pouch and gives you 5 rings. Thanks, Rin. Well, good. Quick save for that. And the hunters should be done. Recruit a hunter, yep. I still need to find missing hunters. And the ruined village. What's going on in here? 10 years ago. Nothing. Maybe I'll go talk to the enchantress again when I go back and return to her. 3 days, they say. I walk away. I don't think I can wash myself here. Let's go to the fallen tree. The rocks have been cleared by centuries of rain and wind. You get startled by the sight of animal scales, then realize it's just basking at grass snakes. Soon it vanishes amongst the rocks. Let's see if my fish trap. Sadly, you're too late. Your catch has starved to death again. Yay. It has been eaten by a dozen of little creatures. You open the lid and pour out the contents into the river. I set the trap again. We'll try again. And consider washing myself. Let's travel. I think I have to seek shelter soon. Yeah, I do. Oh, apparently we can go to the abandoned watchtower. Let's go here. This loops us back around. Abandoned watchtower again. The watchtower is blending in with the wilderness slowly. You're surrounded by a thunderous humming of trees and the blue and black birds carrying small sticks, leaves, grasses in their beaks, and move those spoils to the roof. Can I still travel or do I have to go to sleep? Oh, I can still travel. Let's go to the enchantress, see if she's home. A new spider web is strung between the walls and the golem's head. You touch the cold shell, the monster's eyes glow red. Go inside, I'll be with you soon. The stone creature lets you in. Enter the yard. Enchantress closes the door behind you. You're back. I bring news of your parents. She takes a deep breath. Tell me. I'm so sorry. How do you tell somebody's passed away? Help me. Stay hydrated. What am I reading? From you, Wade. Stay hydrated. Foxtrot. I know. It will. I just keep not returning quick enough back to it. I'm afraid they didn't make it. I'm sorry. They're gone. I'll say sorry. She closes her eyes. Her voice becomes absent. Back to the trade, then. I'm going to lower the prices of my spirit rocks for you. I just bought one. Buy 2 dragons. I think that's fair. She opens her grey eyes and you notice her tears. Her voice is shaking. I need a moment. If it's any consolation, the plague itself is no more. You tell her about your deeds, but she stares into the distance without much of a glance. And don't ask a single question. It takes her a moment to form a few words. So there was no hope for them, but now there is for others. Thank you. I should brush my horse. You use this hour to rest from riding. You're exercised for a bit, practice combat stances with your axe, then brush Reginald. which then gladly takes a nap. The enchantress leaves the house and kneels by a bucket of water and washes her face. When she straightens up and turns towards you, there's a shadow of a smile on her lips. I'm glad you stayed around, but I'll be fine. Is there anything I can do for you? I show her the chisel from old Pagus. Used to belong to the sculptor. Do you recognize it? A sad grimace crosses her face as she rubs her arms. After a few breaths, she holds out her open palm. I give her the chisel. She stands up upright in the center of the courtyard, with feet spread apart and arms stretched out. The chisel placed in her right hand. After a few heartbeats, a steel rod floats in the air, maybe 2 feet away from her house, rotating slowly, rising up and descending like a stick on a pool's surface. Her grey eyes are tender, her voice is close to whisper. As a kid, I made a few toys that moved on their own, but they lasted no longer than a single afternoon. A spoon that made all stuff taste sweet until it melted. One candle that shined, one that gave out a green light, but also turned into stumps. The enchantress' long dark hair is now waving around her, but there's no wind. I wanted to make aught that would last, with no end. I was 12, such an adult soul. She lets out a chuckle. So I turned my back on my toys and took my father's old tools. It was always in the shed, for he was afraid it would wear away. I don't interrupt her. With a playful smile, she rotates it faster. The scratches I used to hold the magic inside is dwindling. I'll restore them in no time. She grabs the chisel swiftly, her hair falls on her shoulders, her eyes now focus, as if she's an artist solving a puzzle. But why keep it the same? A new owner could put it to new use. What do you mean? Currently, the chisel adapts to the surface it touches. When used against glass, it makes it powerful hits gentler. When used against stone, it strengthens them. You get the idea. She points at you with the tool and puts her weight on her left leg. I'll remove these limitations. Make it so it will simply enhance any strike made with it. A weapon, well, against rocks, a tool of destruction. She looks up and starts to laugh at her own joke. Her relaxed shell makes her look like a different soul. Sounds useful indeed. She returns to her previous position. Better go ahead and find aught to do. I'm not a kid anymore, but it still takes me a while. The chisel floats again. Carefully examined by the enchantress, you find yourself a wooden block and sit down. You inspect your clothes, especially the coat, and take a look at your blade. Finally, the enchantress stands still, holding her new creation in her one hand and scratching her chin with the other. You gather your stuff and approach her, but she doesn't look at you. Is something wrong? No, not at all. I'm just surprised. She hands it back to you. I didn't expect my past intentions always this sharp. I thought it would take me much longer. Well, go ahead, test it. Maybe there. She points at the wall behind her house. The chisel is just as warm as it was when you received it in old Pagus, but now it quivers gently, as if it's barely confining its power. Oh dear, I've got a bomb in my inventory. You press it against one of the large bricks, and then hit it with the blunt side of your axe. The rock moves, and about 2 inches by about 2 inches, with a pattern of cracks that resemble broken glass. After your next strike, it falls out of the wall, leaving behind only a cloud of dust. Shocked, I step back. The enchantress welcomes your return with a Confident smile. Pretty good, huh? Thanks to you. I finished what I left behind many years ago. She takes a deep breath. Let me know if you need anything else. I still need to place a thing at the marshes, don't I? It's now midnight. It's midnight now, let's go. Bronze rubs. I have 3 left, so I've got to find locations for all 3. Let's trade. What do you have? A spirit rock, which is now $9. Siege shelter. Sure. I'm kind of dead. That's great. Let's find food. I need inventory. I need to eat food. I almost killed myself. Everything's fine. Okay, full stomach. I should be able to recover some health. Hopefully. I'm going to get dirty again, even though I'm already dirty. How to say they're dead? Someone could use a hug, yeah. Poor Enchantress. I think she's been through a bit with everybody. And being so separated without news for so long. Rain once again hits the ground, disturbing your sleep. Another day of muddy roads. Okay, my bags have got bugs in them, I know. Let's save, because I'm about to go there. Let's go to the old bridge first. Let's go to the foraging grounds, see if we can't find food. May or may not have been playing without any volume, everything's fine. The sky is filled with creaking arguments of mountain birds. You notice almost no insects around you. You don't spot any large predators. I try to forage. Time goes by as you roam about until you forage 10 bunches of wild plants. Nice. Until a bush of fruity berries hidden behind a boulder. Together with a couple of wild carrots and an onion, you have more than enough to fill your belly. You grow familiar with the valley, but you don't think it hides much more food. And go to the statue. I want to see if I can clean it. The gentle wind is swinging the willow's twigs. 1, maybe 2 more years, and their tips will pierce the brook's surface. The statue itself with a forgotten purpose. I'm too tired to clean the statue. Consider washing myself in the stream. The brook hardly covers your feet, but you can still sit on the pebbles and wash yourself with the water. In less than an hour, I remove bloodstains from my clothes. You rub the fabric in the clear flowing water, and when necessary, you pound them on the flat rocks. It takes you hardly any time. I wash my shield. As you wash your skin, Reginald takes his sass and looks for intruders. I step away. And we travel again. Let's go. I think we're back at Foggies. Let's go to the creeks. My issue is here now is there's obviously other places I can go. I can go to Rock Slide. So maybe tomorrow I go back to the Rock Slide. Let's go to the creeks. I've already placed Road at the creeks. I've gone west. They went into the middle of the forest, but I'm too jolly weak to go into the middle of the forest. Talk to the farmer. I'm looking for a place to sleep. We need another hut and we have no space for it. She glances at you with dry, tired eyes. If you need a scrap on the floor, go to the tavern. Okay. That's fine. I need supplies. A fish trap. No. Farewell. Suppose we go back to Foggies, because that's all we can go. Then we go back to sleep. We did a full loop, at least. Hear a commotion. Let's enter the tavern. Like something to eat. She stretches out her arms and grabs a bowl. Give me a moment. You sit down at the clean table. After a moment, the innkeeper brings out you some monster meat you can't identify, a couple of apples, and a cup of birch sap. Once you're done, Foggy pats the leftovers for you as a snack for the rest of the day. She mentions you've already paid for another 7 meals. I wonder why you decided to keep him around. Ha! Do I need a reason? Her amused eyes get thoughtful as she looks at the ceiling. You came up here as a poor soul in need, taught only how to use a spear and a shield. I know how it feels. To have all the things you're good at taken away from you. She straightens up her chest, hits her chest with her fist. She straightens up and hits her chest with her fist. So I know that new paths await us, with or without the help of others. Cultist's leg might be burned in despair, but I already throw him and his shovel. Once he asks for it, she pauses, then looks through the window. Though those fantasies of him won't help him anytime soon, they swallow his thoughts. I don't need to eat. I have some... No, we already asked. Can I sleep? She doesn't trust me enough. But I can't sleep. Oh, it's 3 hours. Okay, time for me to go. Oh, you have visions. He raises his head and frowns. More mockery. Stay away from me, stranger. I have nothing to tell you about. He doesn't trust me. Do you often have travelers? Aaron's voice is like thunder. Nah, you might as well be the last one this season. Sometimes a group of adventurers who knows how, and the southland travelers in spring and autumn. Most of our visitors are from the villages, usually creeks and gull rocks. They live goods at our place or just outside. Ma barters in their name with the others. I mean rock timber, furs, and fish can wait a few days. and walk away. There's so many secrets here, but nobody wants to talk about them. A multitude of bubbles is coming from the lake, and there's a group of crows circling above high. Howlers gather as you approach their tree, and the smallest of them hanging from the branches, while a few larger ones are on the ground, observing you with cold grass. And two howlers. Owner of the Roar Hive. Travel. Let's go here. Hopefully it's now dark enough that I can actually sleep. I can sleep. Let's go. We sleep here. Yes, and I'll get, like, health back. And I will lose that, but I don't know how to get clean anymore. Each time it adds it, it doesn't add it, so it's just, I'm not adding anything. Yay. Let's travel again, shall we? Time for me to go. Travel. It's now morning. Let's see if these howlers are still here. They're still here. So, I guess I can go clean the statue though. The brook is cleaner than ever, and your palfrey happily takes a short break to quench its thirst. Statues to its left with the purpose forgotten. In about half an hour I could use my axe to cut down the bushes and trees. Yeah, I lose hunger. You tether Reginald to a tree, letting it choose between drinking, grazing, and napping. You prepare your equipment, keeping an eye on the bush where you saw the rabbit's last movements. Using your weight to move the plants to one side, then cutting right above the ground. The stems are heavy and flexible, so getting through them is rough, but you have enough strength to deal with them in a couple of minutes. Then throw them into the lake, and the work goes on for a bit. Into the lake? Why into the lake? Cut them up. Use them as firewood. Take them with you. But once you're done, the statue stands in its former glory. A couple of old offerings are still on the pedestal. Polished rocks, a bony figure, moldy bowls and plates used to store food. In one vessel you see a dragon bone. It's dark and could be older than a generation, but it would surely be accepted by any merchant. I leave it behind. I don't want it. You return to Reginald. I go traveling. Where do I go, though? That's my question. I don't know what I'm doing this entire thing. I'm just wandering around. No crusty bread. No crusty bread indeed. I need food, though, which is very interesting. I want to travel through the heart of the forest. I also want to deal with those things. Oh, maybe that will finish it. Let's go up to the creeks and tell them that we've cleaned the statue and we'll receive some dragon bones. Back up to the creeks, we're just doing, like, fetch quests now. I have a day to spare. Who was I talking about? I need to take a mental note. Alphen. Carpenter. He is removing bark from a large log, throwing it into the pile of wood at the center of the square. He smiles and puts away his tools. Welcome back, friend. Good to see you. That you stayed safe on the roads. About the eastern roads. Did you face any troubles? I cleared the statues at Foggy's place. The woman with a stick. Seeing you nod, he stops his work. What for? road is prettier now. Well, it is. It increases the chances that animals will see her as a human shell and feel threatened by it. He snorts. What? Repeat yourself, but the gesture with his knife is for you to stop. Don't be dumb, friend. Birds sit on it all the time. I see no cats jumping on it. Beast, he taps his nose. Have other senses than we do. Maybe you're right. He pats his stomach and looks at you. Keep it up, friend. Let me know if there's anything else. Oh, I'm too tired to assist them. I need 2 health to help them with the tree. Let me know if there's anything else. He reaches. Anything else? I'll see you later. Yeah, I have a day to spare. Let's do the roads. Work for a day. Unknown. Let's save first and then work for the roads. I'm like not completely good for this, but I'm still dirty. Nice. I got even more dirty. At one point, you had to flee desperately towards safety. You're tired and your clothes are torn in pieces. Great. It's too late. Let's go to Foggy's again. It's kind of just repeat. I sleep, I go back somewhere. I sleep, I go back somewhere. I need to get more health. A repeat of everything. I need to buy something. Like something to eat. I have some questions about the Peninsula A. Thanks. Let's sleep and rest again. And then we will go back to the creeks and do their thing. And hopefully we won't die. And that will get out of the way, hopefully. Oh, that did not load properly. Okay, talk to the carpenter. About the eastern path? I'm ready to help you with the fallen tree. He springs up and leads you to the square. Gather, folks, for the wood cutting. He orders the children and waves to the adults to gain their attention. He looks at you with a smile. We have a sharpened axe, full stomachs, spare wheels. Can you leave your mount at the creek? Nothing like a day of grazing, napping, and Without waiting for your response, he addresses the approaching souls. None of them are older than 30. Remember, they're all not wearing any clothes either. Oh dear. I approach Reginald, scratches his neck. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. I like how they kind of adjusted that. After a few moments, the crowd gathers next to the bridge, organizing their simple carts, wagons that are held only by ropes, joints, and leather straps. You notice that one of them carries a pile of a few burly sacks, so you ask the dark-haired woodcutter with a massive axe about their contents. Just food, friend. She looks at you with excitement, moving her hips in an inaudible melody. Huts, what's on wheels, light as a feather. No need to hunt in the woods. To illustrate her point, she throws her tools into the cart next to her. Just in case, I keep my axe on my belt. It doesn't take long for the sound of wheels and boots to cut through the song of birds and insects. Your loud journey is accompanied not just by the sound of trumpets and trampled and kicking rocks, but also the conversation of the woodcutters, who are spread around without many worries. You cross the thin road where Ephraim the hunter is waiting on the side of the road. He stands still, looking around like a gate guard from the village, but once you get closer he joins with you, an excited look and lightly steps, shaking the wolf's head. Don't worry, friend. You may be here to protect us, but my destiny is to keep you breathing until the very end. I like these guys. I like the creeks and the monks. despite both of their oddities, and also like the Enchantress and Foggy. Those are the guys that I currently like, right? Despite all their mishaps and everything else that's going on, they're not that bad. You seem happy to leave the village. And what happens after the end? And what happens after the end? There may never be one, or we may not see it coming. His tone is cheerful as he glances at the humble caravan. But don't worry, I have a good feeling. A good day is ahead of us. Don't jinx it, please. I don't need anybody to do that. You move past the tavern and head south, where you encounter Aline and ゚Secret, the foragers. They move through the meadows with long sticks in their hands and baskets on their back, seeking food in the meadows, while also scaring away any potential snakes. Once they notice your expedition, they run to the roads, where the large man asks the others about their health and their days. After a few moments, they reach you and Afron. You look both like a flock of vagabonds and a squad of guards, with all those axes and spears, said Aline. Weird to see you all in one place without the walls to hide you, crude as ever. How's the hunt going? Alan, careful as useful, reaches for his throwing club and makes a small throwing-like gesture. He polishes and Rakeit's weapon shines in the sunlight. I hit a blue gross. It doesn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance, ゚Secret scoffs. On a third try, but his companion ignores him. And we have a few snake eggs. A good dinner awaits us. After that, they mostly speak with Afron about the Morfray he recently delivered to them, then turn back to you before you get to the stone statue, wishing you a safe journey. It's nice to see that people are relaxed. I continue chatting with the hunters. I sigh. Make sure let's be cheerful. It is now raining. Great. The further you get away from the foraging grounds, the more quiet the tribefolk grow. The hours of wayfaring are getting to your legs, and the atmosphere grows tense, as some of your weaker companions are asking to pull on the carts for at least a few minutes. Afron looks behind you, then at you. Did ya ever sing in Halavan during work? His voices are so loud you have no doubt that the rest of the group heard them. We sing the songs of the sea, sailors bring them to the fishers and dock hands. It spreads from the taverns to the homes. We remember the tunes from before the war. The city folk find strength when they hear the tales of the 10 cities. Our songs are a bit more tame than the ones from the village. Some themes sound too awkward when the priests are around. Oh. Okay. We do the middle one. It would be... Excuse me. Okay. It would be easier to show us than describe it. You realize the voice of the woman with whom you've spoken about the sacks before. Having little breath to spare, you can't be sure your voice reaches the last row of expeditions, but you do your best to portray the Emperor Adaro and the fresh pork and bread he brought to the tribes. It balances between solemnity and playfulness, betrays a realm that has its worst days behind it. Once you're done, the townfolk don't say much until the woman with a big axe gets to your row and pats you on the back. Then starts her own song that turns out to have almost an identical tune. Yet the lyrics have almost nothing in common. It's a tale that indeed includes pork and bread. More pork and bread for you, Wade. Well, more bread. But they are just two of many foods that are now referenced in each shell part or sexual act. Right, I get the joke there. She keeps smiling throughout the entire tune and rests her hand on her shoulders. Some of the other wayfarers even laugh or sing along, and you hear two people clapping to the rhythm. For a bit more, we move forward with our arms around each other's back. Without getting too awkward, I wait a moment, step away, and wonder which song is actually older. Now let's do the first one. "We can eat here," declares the hunter as you approach the watchtower, and asks the people behind him to spread the news. The carts and travellers gather in the middle of the crossroads, forming a defensive circle, with some of the folk unpacking food rations before you sit on the ground. Alfred hands you a large pear and asks you to follow him. Once he gets to the back door of the watchtower, he reaches one of the planks and tries to move it. "How, shove me, that's bad news. Now a bear can move in." He pushes in and gets inside, looks around, and it's swarming already. He crosses the room, observes the furniture, especially the rotting barrels. "We're here for the trees, so we won't waste strength here. If you can, friend, try to get rid of it. He points at a large cockroach. "There's one spot on the eastern path we need the most. It's this. You understand? I'll speak with Alfred if he figures something out." He nods and leads you back to one of the wagons, inviting you to sit down. Some of the tribal folk wander a bit further away, searching the tall grasses for food, as their habits are stronger than fear, but after the hunter orders them to regroup, they stay disciplined. After a short break, the expedition starts to restore to its previous shape, while you and the hunters leave them behind, scouting ahead. The overgrown paths twist between the hills and bushes. "This route has issues much larger than a fallen tree." Your companion voice is tired and quiet. 2, maybe 3 more years, and it will be safer to block it completely." Both of you reach for your blades, then a sudden cry comes from down the road. It resembles an ape, a young troll, or a human tormented by visions. It lasts a few breaths and ends as abruptly as it starts, but it isn't followed by any attack or even footprints. "Stay here." I crawl my way up a hill and observe the area through the shrubs. You push away the leaves and once again hear the cry. It comes from one of the goblins gathered at the side of the road, none of which look in your direction. Their thick fur in the shades of brown and black make you realize you've encountered the very same pack in this area before. What's that pack again? What's that pack? The hunters are supposed to clear them out. It's day 2. They're gonna leave on day 3, so now we have to deal with them. Great. This is where timing matters, but oh my word. Most of them standing still and silent, either on all fours or using their crude sticks and clubs to remain upright. 2, however, hitting the ground with their fists, shaking the empty shell of yet another goblin. An elder covered with grey hair, whose upper right half is leaning against a tree, while the bottom half is a few feet away in a puddle of blood. The guts spilling out of its stomach don't suggest a promising diagnosis. You get back to Alfred, who's too focused on his food to adjust the tilted wolf's head. So, oh, see a message there. "Maybe yeast, yet something's rising. Must be yeast, yet something's rising." Okay. What do you mean by that, Wade? I'm not quite sure. Goblins, more than a dozen. They're mourning their dead leader. A pack of goblins is too stupid to realize their leader is dead. Let's hope they don't know any dark magic. He looks at you, as if seeking confirmation. After a few quick breaths, he waves at you to follow him. "Well, there's more of them amongst the trees. Keep watching. Let's gather a fair group of fighters and strike them first." "Agreed. You know who to pick. It won't be long before the pack is crushed." "Well, I'm stealing the hunted people job." Once everybody is ready, the battle takes not even a minute. The hunters, foragers, and woodcutters may not be experienced soldiers, but they have their light equipment allows them to get closer to the pack, and once they're noticed, their long, sharp spears and axes make their charge devastating. A few of the beasts, unaware of the scale of the threat, die before they could land a single hit, while the rest of them drop whatever they were holding and disappear amongst the leaves, too nimble for any human to catch them. A few of the tribe folk are searching the area, removing the goblin tusks from their jaws and pushing the corpse deeper into the bushes so they won't get caught in the wheels. Our friend takes a look at the weapons but decides to keep what seems like a human-made axe head and a rust dagger. Anything worth picking up? Not really. Their furs smell like shit. He considers handling you the dagger but realizes it's worth negotiation. All of it needs some extra work. I'll tell Afrin to pay you another dragon bone once we're back. Then he orders his people to tell the carts and wagons to regroup, and you step away from the blood that reaches your boots slowly. I make sure nobody gets left behind. That's too bad, says the dark-haired woodcutter as you reach the fallen tree. It's thin. We can surround it. The workers divide the tools and use the wagons and carts to form a barricade, explaining that they'll move them once again when it comes time to load timber onto them. You prepare your own belongings when you notice that the tribe awaits your command. You can start whenever you're ready. I'll keep an eye on the surroundings. The broken wagon is the first task. The workers take care of it. A few dozen souls arrive here would be enough to simply push the tree to one side. And that would be an exhausting task for lesser numbers, and it would take little time. Use the crags to observe the area, moving around without haste. The distracting noises of your group scare away many creatures, and the eyes that observe you are mostly surrounded amongst the tree crowns and the highest points of the hill. You spot a few ynxes, monkeys, and many birds, but no cats, runners, raglings, or wolves. I miss sitting in a saddle. Hey, we've done the fallen tree, let's go. Another question. The saws and axes split the tree in a few spots at once, while the less experienced members of the group trim the branches and carry loads of wood until they ask to replace the exhausted woodcutters. Then the work slows down, but it never stops. And while the consistent noise finally lures the presence of a small dragling that walks on 4 legs, each as large as a human, seeing the large group makes it turn back, even though you would most likely be unable to pierce its skin. After another few hours, nobody has enough fortitude to start another conversation. Once the cart and wagons are ready, the crew demands half an hour break. We really can't avoid that. The road back is rough. The heavy blocks of wood require the digging crew to take turns every few moments or so, hoping nobody would be pushed to exhaustion. Crossing the bridge is the worst part. Lifting and dropping the wagon vehicles is too dangerous for the primitive wheels, and one of them breaks, needing to be replaced on the spot. One of the foragers finally proposes hemping up the soil into a temporary gentle slope, which once again takes a lot of time. You and Ephraim sit down on the stream bank, observing the water. Let's hope we reach the tavern before nightfall, he states simply. You're so exhausted that seeking an answer takes you a bit more time. I look at the workers. Where does this stream go, actually? I don't know. The sea, maybe. I think it goes through the heart of the woods, but the terrain here is so uneven I have no clue. Maybe it fills a big hole beneath a cave or somewhere. Once you're ready for the rest of the journey, you don't really feel like getting on your feet. Almost there. I try my best to sound cheerful. Let's keep the motivation high. Helps people move faster and forward. Foggy and her crew welcomes you at the gate with their few tables, benches and chairs moved outside the walls, inviting everybody to sit down and eat. Though more than half of the crew has to sit down on the wagons, 2 of the foragers refuse a meal, instead lying on the soft grass. I'd rather sleep. It's fine. You get a bowl of warm stew, heavy in fat, with snake eggs placed on top of a piece of peasant meat. The vegetables are properly seasoned and juicy, though you'd love to have an extra pinch of salt. The worst part of the road is behind you, and while people remain quiet, they eat with enthusiasm. The tavern keeper approaches you in Afrin. It may be dark, but you feel as if she's covering you with a shadow. Well, loves, how's the road? Worth the effort? I keep the conversation going. While the hunter sighs, too tired to say a word, you indulge her appetite for gossip. You describe what you've seen as soon as she scratches her large chin. She seems unsure what to say, so the real gloom is behind the tower. But even before it, we need more work. You chit-chat until Afrin starts to wake up the napping workers with his boots. I smile at her. No time to waste, I guess. Saved! I'm more dirty. I'm still dirty. I'm just gonna be dirty this entire run. Saved! A woman with a big axe crosses the gorge with a laughter. The expedition leaves the carts and wagons in front of the bridge. Seeing how dark it is, you're not surprised to learn that unloading will occur after dawn. Not like anyone's going to steal it, says one of the foragers. So everyone make sure to take the remaining of the food rations. We're lucky, but let's not tempt the beast, says a hunter. The rest of the tribe welcomes your group from the open gates, and relieved laughter fills the little village. They seem surprised to learn that nobody got seriously hurt. Alfred and Ephraim share a brief embrace, but the carpenter doesn't hesitate to mention the hunter's smell. You realize you also need a long bath. No, time to collect my reward. The carpenter reaches for a little torch and asks you to follow him. I've meant to pay you 1 more dragon bone, so be it. I'll pay 4 times as much for keeping everybody safe. You did a good job, friend. He opens a small casket and casts down the pieces in bone. Tell me, Rin, what do you think? How's the road? You now know how a merchant may feel on it. It's empty but beautiful, even the old structures. He gives you a surprised look. Not the answer I was expecting. Eastern Road, managed to make the Eastern Road safer. Yes, we got another achievement. That's 2 for tonight. Despite not knowing what to do, I think we've been very successful with actually doing something. This is funny. He gives you a surprised look. Not the answer I was expecting. He pushes the coins towards you. The few times I travelled to Gal Rocks, I mostly saw rocks to crush, trees to cut, meadows to forage at. Though I expect you need to find some pleasure from travelling, or you'll go insane. I wait patiently. The carpenter pauses for a long time, then starts to draw an invisible map on the workbench with his finger, muttering to himself. Yes, he says slowly. You've already done more on the roads than I expected, friend. I dare say more than any outsider in this generation. The tribe can take it from here. He reaches for something resting on a log beneath the table and turns towards you. You already received your payment, but maybe you'd like to take a hair pelt as a gift? Boogie doesn't need it, but you'll get a dragon or 2 in another village. You take a look at the fine fur and roll it into a more mobile shape. Seeing how Afrin observes you, you tell him to just ask. I can't figure out what's pushed you to do this much to help us, friend. I know some of the things you've seen were just on your path, but others took a true risk. It's just what... The creek is a lovely place. I hope it succeeds. It is very nice. His proud smile is followed by a victorious stance. It's one of a kind, eh? And living here is getting even better. I'll put my whole life into making sure of that. He rests one hand on his stomach and reaches out to you with the other one. Come here, another spring or later, and you'll see a real change in the peninsula. I shake his hand. Sure I will. Completed Eastern Path, updated quest, explore the peninsula. His large hand is, even though the brief touch is enough to notice the cuts and chips of the skin, signs of his arduous labor. I doubt you'll find much more to do on this route, but if I turn out to be wrong, let me know. Then he sits down on the stool and looks at his tools with a big smile. See you later. Let's save. Reginald is observing the monkeys moving on the surface of the rocks, swinging its tail. Locals don't need your service before day 28. What day is it? I don't know. So something happens on day 28. At least late hour, they don't need anything. I have monkeys, that's not good. And I can't sleep here. Well, who wants to get attacked at night again? Let's go seek shelter, see what it does. Oh, the peninsula is safer than most because we did all that cleaning. Nice. Left on the ground, enter. Foggy looks at you. Foggy looks at you through the hole leading to the attic. She gets down. With only one hand does it seem to hinder her. She welcomes you. Cheerfully shouts, "Hello, love. Good to see you in one piece." I go to sleep because I'm tired. Sleep. Clicked on it already. Okay, sleep. We get health back, which is pretty good. We're smashing goals, we are, Wade. It's going pretty well. It's actually really good. Really good indeed. The shivers wake you up and Foggy is standing by the open door, letting the dense fog in, with her back lit by a lantern. While she breathes slowly, her eyes keenly observing the area, and after you focus, you hear the distant shouts of a roaming lizard. Salaries. I don't need the fog's touch because my magic. I haven't used my magic in ages. The fall will make the fog even more common. Some roads will get too dangerous for a single rider. I wake up to the loud sounds of her cleaning up the horse stuff. Wait to eat something. I ate food. Okay, we quick save. Okay, good. Journal, because that was updated. Peninsula. It just pretty much tells me everything. Helping others. I delivered food to Quintus. Oh, he's the guy by the gatehouse, that's right. Find the RoadWarden. Nothing much yet. I still have 3 rods and I've nowhere to place them. They're probably in the... So the bandits might know him. This is being very interesting, the bandits. Still don't know who to go for this. The closed tunnel. I need to find somebody who knows how to construct simple traps. I can probably go talk to that guy, and this lady doesn't trust me enough. Study the golems. Advise me to look for guidance about fighting the golems. Maybe an experienced fighter can share their knowledge with me. I asked... Oh, I haven't asked an experienced fighter. Who's an experienced fighter? Well, he's a hunter. I haven't found an experience. So, studying the golems and closed tunnels are probably the ones I'm stuck at. And also this, because she won't talk to me. She hates me. She does hate me right now. I may have stuffed that up, but I don't really mind. Okay, time to go. We're back to not knowing what we're doing, but we'll do something. I said I wanted to travel through there, but how much is my health? It's okay. Pretty good on that. Ooh, you know what we can do actually? We can go fight these monkeys. Save, quick save again. Because they're here and I needed to do something with the rawhide here. I tried to scare them away. Your yard away from the closest tree and the howlers are climbing, swinging, browsing the leaves and seeking bugs in the meadow. Only a few of them pay attention to you. You start with an attack in the distance, but there's no way for you to take down an entire pack. The best you can hope for is to scare them off. I cast a few rocks at them. You hit a few of them. 3 of the monkeys shout at everything in sight with outraged complaints, then start to point at you. Their howls grow louder and they jump between branches. The largest ones land on the ground. We move forward. The confused howls step back, not sure why you're not running away. Maybe the troll stuff will help you. You open up the jar and splash some of the contents before you. The howls get higher and weary. The beasts leap away. One of the large ones flees through the meadow, shouting in panic. The smaller monkeys start cuddling, hiding their faces and disappearing behind the tree trunk. Those on the ground take the first steps forward, but they keep looking at each other, waiting for one of them to start. For confirmation. Your head aches as if you're getting hit by a sledgehammer time and time again. You want to touch your stomach to stop its strange movements, as if your guts are shaking. My spells. Let's do a 1 magic attack. You unwrap the linen sheet and grab the willow twig, still as smooth as on the day you bought it. It's pointy and thin, but heavy with the injected quicksilver. You raise it, and if you're about to stab the air with a dagger and make a quick swing, the invisible wave hits the monkey as it tries to jump at you. It sends it back, plummeting to the ground. The other creatures are standing still, not sure what exactly to do. I reach for my blade. You look around. No more creatures are trying to approach you. You step forward and raise your blade. The wounded monkeys run away. The others follow soon after. They don't look back. You doubt they'll forget the threats you pose. Put my weapons away. You glaze at Reginald. We won. Let's go. We save. I search the area looking for any traces of the owner of the raw hide. An hour and a half, you find no corpse, but the trail of the fight follows you enough. A human was dining near the tree. A large cat jumped them and dragged them all through the meadow north. For a few moments you follow the broken blade of the tall grasses, leading track more than once, deceived by the paths used by howlers, which are now following your march anxiously. You reach a gully, then a thick forest growing into a cauldron-shaped basin. The branchy trees are taller than 3 houses placed on each other. Beasts drag the human through the thicket, and the scratched skin leaves blood on the edge of the twigs. You consider walking in, but as you look around, howlers are getting more numerous and confident, stepping on every tree in sight, threatening you with their shouts. To enter the woods, I'll need to leave it at Foggy's for now. I step back. It's rather clear that the hunters can't be helped anymore. Okay. Do we want to enter the lair of the howlers? Maybe. What could happen? What could go wrong? What could happen? What could go wrong? How could anyone hate you, Fox? I'm not sure. Let's leave Reginald and enter the lair. Oh, there's a house here. You're used to Reginald's trot more than your own gait. You rush forward as if you're tracking your next meal or delivering a message. After a few moments, the light dances on the calm surface of the lake, lures your eyes. The whispering meadow calms down your breathing. I need no calming down. The last was better. Perfect time for a stroll. You stretch out, then gather your shoulders to rest for a bit. Your pace lets you observe the fish trying to catch their tiny prey above the waters, the nest hidden amongst the branches, and the mouse living in an old tree stump. So far, no large beasts have approached the road. You reach the trail of blood again, then the gully. The shadows cast by the trees make you alarmed, as you enter a very different world. Your axe is not much comfort. You better take a look at your belt, cords, and the rest of your equipment. Having no horse, you find a way to squeeze through the thicket. I walk down to the valley. Not much light gets through the tree crowns. The cauldron-shaped basin is filled with the howls of monkey, chirping of insects, and as soon as you enter the lair, thousands of throats burst with threats and worries. Some of the monkeys run away, others gather in groups, following your movement like a loyal squad. The gargling is distracting as you look through the darkness. There are countless more black and golden furs letting out ghastly cries. The distant army is hardly aware of your arrival, most of them eating, sleeping, grooming their companions. You follow the trail of blood, but it only leads further downhill. Your head starts spinning from the overwhelming noise. Great. Well, we can only keep going forward. With every step, the blunt pain grows in your stomach and limbs. You shake your head, trying to focus on your eyes, what's right in front of you, but the relief is brief. If it goes on too long, you won't be able to endure it. The first few large monkey touches the ground, but after you raise your axe and show your teeth... What? What do you mean I'm showing my teeth? It climbs back again. Though you right away notice a small movement on the other side, nothing attacks you yet. It's obvious, though, or any human could never single-handedly put an end to such a giant pack of creatures. But if you broke through their strikes, maybe the rest would be too afraid to push back, especially if they remember what happened to them last time. Let's save. Quick save here. Or actually, can I hard save? Journal. Let's hard save and keep going. Okay, let's try this. Keep going. The monkeys observe you with respect, pouting their lips and growling, but keep their distance. It's quite a few breaths soon. A few monkeys fall from atop high branches, breaking through the shrubs, then leap towards you with a shout. My magic is too weak. Scare them with the troll thing. You open the repellent and generously scatter it thoroughly, and splashing some of it lands on your pants and hams, instantly making you regret it. Nice. Well, I'm already dirty. I can't get dirty enough. Everything's trying to make me dirty and it's not working. But you don't have to wait for the effects long. Half the animals climb up the trees again. Maybe the others are fleeing through the thicket. Their howls get louder and you keep spilling the urine for another moment until the beasts gather enough courage to ignore it. The forest gets dark, but the trail of blood is easy to follow, which may not be a good sign. Let's hope I don't die. I died! Hey, that's great. Let's see what happens when you die. You push forward, struggling to find a path between the remaining groups. You duck, leap, sprint. At one point, you manage to reach the final group. A long arm clasped around your waist. You hit the ground, trembled by the feet, followed by something tearing off. Nice. Let's load. Yes. At least we know we can die. That's great. Let's go back. There's no way the huntress survived such a bloody thing in the Valley of Monsters. Let's go back to Foggy's. You run your eyes over a few groups of beasts, then rush towards the gully. The monkeys triumphantly howl, giving you a headache, then chase after you until you reach the meadows. You have no doubt that they won't flee from you ever again. You can only hope that Alfred will accept your explanation. Try not to don't take a stage to figure out what happened here. Apparently I teleported back to Foggy's. The light shines on the water and the empty roads, no herbs or travellers in sight. Spot a baited claptrap set near the walls. Let's go up to Afrin and see if he likes my eggs. Not Afrin. Is it Afrin? I think it is, because the other guy is Elfrin. Elfan. About the hunters. I know where Dahlia disappeared. He keeps chipping in until you tell him to listen to the end. He respects your wishes, though he's brown so much that you wonder if he could still see you. Caught by a cat, buried by howlers, grimace, wild tail. He looks around. Let's hope there's no more eavesdropping children in sight. He nods enthusiastically, but as no one responds, he carries on. Though I'm not sure I believe you, friend, as you have nothing to show me. I stay silent. Thanks for your help. After these words, he is unusually quiet. Let's hope I find anything else. He glances at the pigeon sitting near and moves towards his obsidian club. Good hunting. So did that do anything? He said he didn't believe me. I think he's in the middle of the woods, this guy. Unfortunately, that happened. I didn't expect that to happen. Howler monkeys. Why did it have to be howler monkeys? It's always monkeys. Always monkeys. All the time. This will be 3 hours. What time is it? 7 hours. I do want to go back there, it's just... I don't know. I wish my magic had lasted longer. We can always go back to her, but I'm not sure why we need to go back to her. Let's try the heart of the forest again. With any luck, we won't encounter anything too bad, and I need to look for the other guy. So, let's go. You ride by a patrol from the creeks that's escorting a cart loaded with timber. They greet you politely, mentioning the growing safety on the roads. As you ride further, you notice the fresh coat of pebbles covering the muddy scraps of the trail, and the trimmed shrubs, and the cleared tufts of grass. From now on, it would be easier to cross the paths between Foggy's and the lake and the village. Finally, the locals are waking up. That's fun, folks. Let's do something fun, other than dying. 3 hares cross the road so quickly you barely notice them. Soon they disappear in the shrubs. A large spotted cat shows up, trying to catch them. It spares you only a glance. I search for the tracks I found at the watchtower. The hard heels can't be mistaken. The travellers didn't mask their steps. They passed the rocks from both sides, heading deeper into the forest. I return to the cabin. You stand at the fort, still as challenging for travellers as it is when you found it. The water is clear and cool, allowing a palfrey to quench its thirst. I spend some time throwing them into the large water. For now, ignore it. Spend some time gathering large rocks and throwing them into the water. Sure. Where am I in the map, though? I'm somewhere existing in the forest. Maybe, I don't know, somewhere around here. I don't see my marker. I might be blind, but I didn't see it. I think I'm here, or maybe I'm here. Oh, I might be there, actually. I'm like at the beginning. Let's throw it. For how long? Let's do half an hour. You let Reginald graze and drink by the stream. You wander along the edge of the dark forest on one side, and a colourful meadow on the other. Seeking rocks smaller than your head, carrying them makes you tired quickly. After you're done, you realise the rocks that you just brought here. I work some more. For how long? 15 minutes. After you're done, the rocks you put here slowly start to make a difference. That's enough for now. Let's move on. Can I go back the way I came? No, I got rejected. You're near the same part of the forest where you encountered the corpse-eating beast. The rocky hills are green, the colourful flowers, the lively buzzing of insects. You sense any threat, you seek any threat hiding in the tall grasses. You notice a single soul standing on a distant rock edge. They call you with a gesture. Wait, they call me? I stop my horse. Who do I see? It's a man in an unlaced black garrison, covering a simple cloth shirt. He has the short black hair of a labourer. Neither tall nor short, you see no weapon. He's standing near the entrance of a cave and keeps looking around. Even once he looks back at you, his gesture no more, just waits. I dismount and lead Reginald up the hill. It nickers, happy to rest in lush grasses. After you reach the crag, the man's crouches on its edge, observing your surroundings. His clean, shaven face tells you of sadness but also acceptance. His elbows are resting on his knees, hands clenched together. A gentle wing brings you the smell of soap. He couldn't be older than 30. Well, he's older than all the people in creeks. You observe him keenly, not willing to take any risks. I follow his lead. The man frowns at your stares but doesn't return it. He has a symmetric, handsome face. Okay? Healthily tan skin, free of scars or blemishes, the blue eyes of a sage and a muscular figure. In Halavan, he would have been a perfect recruit for a group of actors. He could have played an emperor or a hero from who writes tablets, or a commander or an evil rich merchant. Why a rich merchant specific? Oh, or an evil and rich merchant. Finally he scuffs. I've seen you before, I did. His words are close to a whisper. To your left, there is indeed a good view of the lone trees. You crushed with the furless wolf. Oh, what? I did? Cheers for doing that. There are too many hands in the north to plough the land and pick the berries, but there are never too many fighters. The man speaks slower. His voice is thoughtful and a bit taunting. And don't worry about the corpse. I touched it soon after you left. Okay. Maybe next time you could try help us instead of... What are you doing here? Planning, mostly. Catching birds, resting. Beats have nothing to look for in the cave. It's small. His tone shifts to a more casual one. Right, tell me, stranger. You know of a place where I can spend a few nights? He straightens up. For the first time, looks you in the eyes. Are you hiding from somebody? Aren't we all, stranger? He looks around. Mostly wolves and draglings. I know a shelter where you can stay. I'm all ears. You reach a wooden cabin. That's pretty good. Go east towards north of the wash roads, you reach a wooden cabin. But is it safe? Last time I was there, the entry was closed. It was. A huge spider was inside, but I took care of it. Still, better be careful. His smirk turns into a bright smile. Ah, cheers, stranger. Look for me there in a day or so. I'll have something to say if you want to hear. Care to introduce yourself? He chuckles. I aren't sure how to do such a thing. Not sure at all. I want to pick a new name first, something that goes well with my eyes. Okay. Mad, strange person. Time for me to leave. Right. He nods eagerly, but keep our meeting between us two, won't you? There are those who like to hunt down lonely drifters. Take every scrap of silver they have. I don't need any of that. Cheers, stranger. As you walk away, you're more than sure he's observing every step of yours. Me and Reginald go downhill and continue our journey. But it's getting dark. I want to go. The nearby shrubs are shaking. You hear the sounds of a fight. After you get closer, the battling creatures run deeper into the woods. I look for tracks that I found on the fallen trees. Without a doubt, the travellers were here, led by the person in the hard heels. Why are you wearing heels in the middle of the forest? I have concerns and questions. This is fun, Fox. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Wade. Both older and younger. There's nothing to lose, honestly. I dismount and follow the tracks west. They soon turn north into a small game trail wide enough for your mount to enter the thicket. After a few minutes, within little effort, you reach an even wider trail. You get back in the saddle and ride uphill, following a convenient rocky trail covered with sunlight and cleared plants. Once you get to the top, you look around. From here, you got a good view of the heart of the woods and spot smoke coming from the villages, far in the distance. The further path ends at a ravine. You look over the edge. At the gentle brook far below. The hole is too wide to cross it with a jump, even for Reginald. You narrow your eyes. On the other side is a simple bridge made of logs and rope, now rolled up and resting by a green shrub. I could use a grappling hook. We should go buy that grappling hook, and I should go use it. That's in Pell to the North, isn't it, the grappling hook? I seem to remember that's in Pell to the North. That or it's up near that mad guy in the woods. I will find that grappling hook and I will use it. I wanted to buy it before. Why didn't I get it? I have no time for this, so turn around. Well, yeah, technically speaking, I don't have time for this. Where am I? I'm here. I still have to get through the woods to the gate. And it's gonna be late, even then, so... let's save. See what happens. Well, I'm already dirty, that doesn't help me. Moving downhill, filled with sweat and blood, as well as disappointment. Leading your pathway down, you are forced to seek the gentlest slopes and ledges. Your arms are burned from swinging the axe. Thankfully, the small creatures stay away from you. You can rest at the crystal clear water while Reginald quenches his thirst. Finally, you get back to the main road, which leads you to the forest. At least I can use the bridge on my way back, yes. It's now midnight. It's 15 minutes before dusk. It is nighttime. Yay. The trail is canopied by hanging trees, and so narrow that your mount would struggle to turn around. Staying on foot, you grab the lead rope and follow the corridor carving into the lush thicket. I try to ignore the scent of rotting leaves. Soon after the path widens a bit, you notice a large shell, larger than your own torso. Its 8 legs are as... oh no. Spiders. Are as long as you are tall, clinging to the tree that's on your way. You freeze. The dark, hairy vortex matches the browns of the plants. I examine the spider from a safe distance. What are you looking for? What do you pay attention to? Example, tree. Example, spider. It's large enough to hunt for humans. Its 8 legs are as long as you are tall. Climbing the tree. Okay, let's heal. Okay. I look at something else. Tracks. You crouch. Some of the prints are fresh, but yet there's no sign of combat near the spider's hideout. I should look around. The nearby shrubs are shaking. You hear sounds of fights. As you get closer, the battling creatures run into the forest. Oh. I ride to a different part of the forest. Where would you like to go? West to the gate. I'm going to be traveling in the middle of the night. But there's a painted boulder here. Debatable. I don't know where to go. Well, we just keep getting killed here. I double dare you to use a grappling hook. Not today, of course. Yes, probably next week, honestly. Let's go to the gates. Oh. It's monkeys again. After a brief moment of riding the sun, a battle cry of a beast strikes you from your right. It's piercing to the bone like the raving of a lunatic devoured by their nightmares. The creature approaches you fast, maybe flying. And I order Reginald to run. You focus on the road ahead. Yeah. Balancing your weight, avoiding the branches and boulders, the creature cries angrily when it misses you in its fall. But you hear no trampling, but the leaves crashed by its paws, then branches bent, tree bark tore to shreds, and panicked birds is getting closer. It's jumping from tree to tree. The tree crowns once again block the sunlight. You enter another corridor of fallen buggers, and more curvy the path gets, the quicker the beast shortens the gap between you. Take another turn and almost pull on the reins at the sight of another beast. Its limbs are as thick as the tree trunks, as tall as Reginald, and are around the road, not on it. The beast towers like a neck, is devouring the leaves, crunching loudly and slowly, but its long tail now leaning on the ground. There's a trail of broken plants and moved soil. The beast's skin is bumpy. Parts of it are brown, green, and red. Now you realize that your pursuer has also slowed down. For now, the giant ignores your presence. Even if it sees you next to it, you're like a fly. You can't ride it around a dragon, and you can't turn back. There's only one way forward. You speed up, leaning to the side, hugging Reginald's neck. You feel your companion's warmth, and the hoods get louder. This blink of an eye lasts for years. You ride beneath the dragon's stomach, almost scratching it with your head. And soon after, the legs start to move, making the ground tumble. From the bottomless throat comes a roar you hear many times in the past, hanging over the distant... I'm just gonna run. Hanging over the distant woodlands, your ears are aching. You close your eyes and clamp your teeth. Your heart is pounding. You ride as you can. Let's just get out of here. I approached the monkey's territory. It's midnight, guys. It's fine. It's day 28 at least. The dwellers are loud, throwing sticks and nuts acorns at you. At least there are no more pieces. I endure it and ride forward. You shield yourself with your cloak, but one of the acorns hits you pretty badly. Your palfrey snorts with frustration, at least once wincing in pain. Oops, sorry, Reginald. Though even when it stays in control, a few beasts gets in front of you, slowing you down, mocking you with their screams. But they aren't goblins. They keep running back, limiting themselves to threats. Some of the monkeys following you, swinging in between the trees, shouting at you, trying to hit you with a stick. Once I get away from them, I examine Reginald and make sure it's safe. The air in these bright, airy hills is much drier than in the woods. Down beneath, amongst the meadows, you spot a stone, on top of which a group is feasting on a large carcass. From what you can see, only a few of them would reach your knees. As soon as a pack notices you, it starts to regroup. I'm not looking for a fight. I stay on my track. Let's go to the gate. Let's go to Quintus. Get back. A large grey lizard is basking on a rock. It runs away at your sight. Quintus is sitting on the wall, cleaning his crossbow. He lowers the rope quickly on the other side and climbs down, opens the gate. Warden! We're talking with Dalit. She brought me some surprise for my tusks and claws. Things could look better, you know. I bring news from Alpagus. The blades knows more. What? He leans back. Say again? When you repeat, he tilts his head backwards, puts his arm on his waist, bursts out in laughter, though his voice is still shaking. Tell me all. He has little patience. A lot of them don't. Constantly throwing more questions at you about the druid, his plans, your gift for the magic tree. He's far from happy when he hears about the prolonged seclusion. I guess it's fair. I'll stay here for some more time. I don't want the mess stuff up like that. I'm not as dumb as a bird. He smiles again. Yeah, thank you, Warden. Your soul carries duty like no other. If you still have the rod, I'll leave it with me. Nice. Yeah, no kidding. I can't enter at such an hour. Aren't you afraid of the bandits? Warden, I can't talk about her. His shoulders slum, making him look like a wounded troll. I've got to look after the gate for her, or she'll hurt somebody important to me. If she learns I'm telling her stories, I'll be dead too. Oh. So he has to look after the gate for her. That's nice. But he hasn't been here in many days. You sure he's not dead? After you admit he's very much might be, he puts his hand on his wrist. Well, better get ready to split open every dragon belly in the wilds. Nice. Did he often travel through the woods? Sure. Though on a different mount, he had a saron. 4 inoxes long, 2 inoxes tall. It moves on 4 legs and jumps high and far. It's dark green like rotting leaves. That one time I was taking... and Astrid made the beast run up the rock's face and it jumped on that. He points at the hill, and like that they ran above the wall, landing on the other side. Just like that. He snaps his fingers and his voice gets even more vigor. Say the salmon was large and green? I mean, not everywhere. He points at his elbow. He has a red scale here and a tail and shoulders, I think. I don't know what to call it. You ask him a bit about Ariston, but he has little to add. There used to be 6 of us keepers. I saw him every now and then, but not that often. Interesting. So what got updated about the finding the what's his name, the RoadWarden? I had a more detailed description of Ariston's saron. It's large, than a horse, dark green with the edges on its limbs, tails, and elbows are red and orange. Yay, return. I'm pretty sure that rock or that gully has something to do with one of the people, but I need it to not be like nighttime by the time I'm going in there. That's just stupid. I suggest we stay around Howler's Dell, get a grappling hook from Pal to the north, go back up to that area. I can try the chisel on the rock as well next time. Yeah, let's go seek shelter and then... yeah. It's too dangerous to stay here, so we go and lose all our health points again. Here you go, I have money to spare. You can have like 10 of my coins, it's fine. Why is the washerwoman still awake? I go to the main square. Let's talk to you. No. I need a few rations. What do I have? Because I can buy a bit from her inventory. What do I currently have for like bathing equipment? I have a traveler's set. That's not what I'm looking at. Where is my bathing equipment gone, or do I not have that? I thought I had it. Tool of distraction, nice. A rope, which I've never used. Keys, which I've never used. A bronze rod. I have 2 of them now, which is very interesting. I only need like 2 more. Okay, let's return. Let's get a few rations. I'm going to get this. Some dreams of a healthy smile. He rubs his hands, but before you take it, he puts a box in front of you. I've got hazel twigs in the sheath, and could replace them in no time. What taste are you looking for? Hazelnut is fine. With a smile, he pushes the set towards you. What else do you need? Let's get this. In an hour, you'll get as much food as you can eat, proper baths and laundry. Yay, I'm kind of clean. I've got one to my appearance. I'm clean and tidy. But my clothes are still torn and worn, so nobody trusts me. Let's just keep buying stuff. Everything's fine. I don't need it. I still need it. What do you mean? Okay, let's buy 2 food rations. I can keep buying food rations. Let's just get... And then I'll put it down to 16 so I'm not left with an odd number. Thanks. Okay, let's sleep. Let's sleep in a room so I can get even more clean. I'm just gonna be dirty all the time, it's fine. You spend the night in a rest in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and warm blanket. In the morning, you find a stool placed by your bed, covered with an eggplant soup. Yay. A bowl of pears and some crumbled biscuits. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy covered in mud speaks unusually loud and mentions Reginald has already been brushed and washed. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing. Sitting on the bench, Thrader is not around. Okay. So, plan for next time, which I'll probably forget. Get the grappling hook, go here to landslide, and see if I can break it with a chisel, and then go back here if I have time. It's this thicket areas that's the hardest to pass through currently. But that is the plan. Let's do a hard save. It's day 29 now. And the creeks also have work for me again, so... Yeah, it's day 29. That's gonna be it for tonight, though. I will use a grappling hook next week. Next time. Okay. That is going to be it, guys. Thank you so much, Wade, for staying and chatting again. It's really nice to get to talk to you. And Kim and Jayla, both of you guys were able to jump in today. It was nice seeing you both. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And same to you as well, Wade. Good rest of the weekend. I will see you guys back here next week for RoadWarden again. Yeah. Pretty good, I think, this one. Despite not knowing what the flip I was doing. We did a lot, yay. Alright. I'm going to say goodbye, because it's been like 3 hours and a half, and I don't want to turn this into a 4-hour stream. Not again. I've had enough of those. I will see you guys next time.